Hello, guys. Just give me 2 secs. I'm just sharing a link to Facebook just to try and get some more people in here. Right, that's done. Hello, people. Thanks for joining me. I'd just thought I'd pop on and say hello because last week went pretty well. And yeah, I'm not feeling too well. So I thought I'd come and have a little chat to you guys if anybody decides to join to say hello. Let's grab me a drink. Somebody's joined. Hello, whoever you may be. Welcome to the stream and thanks for joining. Come say hello in the chat, guys. Come say hello in the chat. Let me know who you are, what you're drinking, and how you're feeling today. I'm still like trying to figure out all this thing, how it works and all that. So it's not going to be the best. But you don't learn if you don't try, do you? 4 people in. Hi, guys. How you all doing this evening? Hello, darling. Hi, at least. That's my other half. She's saying hello from the front room, I believe. Who else we got in here then? There's 5 people in here now. Say hello, guys. And yeah, ask me some questions. What do you want to know about the beer monster? Hi, Adam. Been watching you for a while. Hi, SM Day 2005. Thank you for joining. What sort of videos do you enjoy that I make them, mate? Let us know, and I'll try and do more of them. Yeah, what sort of beers do you like as well, mate? You're a lager drinker or craft beer, a little bit of everything like myself. You'll have to excuse me if I keep coughing because I think I've got whooping cough. So I'm going to go to a doctor's and get some antibiotics on Thursday. I did go up a few days ago, but you know what it's like trying to get a bloody appointment these days. It's a nightmare, isn't it? Simo Sups. Hey, Simo's in. How you doing, bud? What's it like supporting a shit football team, Mr. Beer Monster? He's a fucker, isn't he? What can you say? He's a Man City fan and can't really say much back, can you? The richest club in the world that win bloody everything with the best manager in the world. Well, it's not been too bad this year. Where are we now? I think we're 3rd or something, aren't we? It was fun beating Man City anyway. Hey, I think we beat you anyway, didn't we? Can't remember. I've not really been following it that much this year, to be honest. I don't have Sky Sports anymore, so I used to watch it on the Cody and all that, but not so much now. How you doing anyway, Simo? You having a beer tonight? Oh, I'm not sure about this one. This is some sort of Belgian cherry beer. It's a little bit sour. It's that one they sell it in Morrison's. It comes up wrapped up in the paper. Can't think of the name of it because I threw the paper in the bin. I've just reviewed it. It'll be up tomorrow, I think. I threw the paper in the bin and the bottle was just a plain green bottle, so I can't remember what the bloody name of it is. Paul Greenwood, it's beer o'clock. Cheers, Paul. How you doing, mate? Nice to have you in here, bud. Thanks for joining, mate. SM Day 2005. I like a mix of beer, mainly German beer. Yeah, you got to love the German beer, mate. Yeah. But I've been drinking real wells like you in January. Yeah, it's nice to have a change, isn't it? I've enjoyed drinking the real wells in January. I mean, it's underappreciated and underdrunk style. I think only like 8% of drinks, alcoholic drinks drunk of beers are real wells. So that's quite worrying because a lot of the percentage of people that do drink the real wells are of the older guys, and obviously they're not going to be around forever, are they? They're getting older and older and too ill to drink and stuff like that. So you worry that you do worry for real well in the future if it doesn't become trendy again. Like all the craft beer has and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I thought. They don't get many views and stuff like that, but I think it's important just to sort of review them and that and try and get some more people into them. And seeing you've been trying them, mate, it's really good to hear because more people need to try getting into the real ales, especially if you're sick of all the crap fake lagers and that. There's not a lot to lose. They're quite cheap as well, and they're decent. You're not going to like them all, but I think it's fun trying them out. By the way, guys, how's the mic? Is it too loud or too quiet? Because I'm not using the one on the webcam today. I'm using a separate mic, and I don't really know how to check how loud I am. So I'm sorry if I'm screaming down the mic. 8 people in there. Cheers, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. Apparently it helps. I don't know if it actually does, but probably does. So Paul, what are you drinking, mate? You having a drink tonight? I'm looking forward to getting rid of this one. Can anyone think of the name of that? You know, the Belgian beer that comes in the paper. They sell it in Morrison's. It's 5.8%, and it's like a cherry beer. It's not for me. I reckon some people will love it because it's quite sweet, it's quite rich, but that's just not my sort of thing that I look for in a beer. But I actually managed to drink it, which kind of surprised me, because the last beer of that kind that I had, I said it tasted like a period, drinking somebody's period. And yeah, a few people that like the beer unsubscribed to the channel for that. Didn't like me saying that their favourite Belgian beer tasted like period juice. I forget which one that was. You do forget names of all these beers. I need a lager glass. Fuck it. Going in this one with a cherry beer. Unfortunately, now that I've drunk that Belgian one, I don't have anything fancy to drink. I'm actually drinking San Miguel. And to make matters worse, it's the UK brewed one, because, to be honest, money's a bit tight, and it was the cheapest lager in my Tesco's. It was 12 little bottles of it for a tenner, and it's absolutely disgusting. But you know, just fancy the drink. And sometimes beggars can't be choosers, can they? And it's only a Tesco Express, so they don't have much selection. It's pretty much San Miguel, Stella, Foster's, Erdinger. You know, there's no good option really there. The best option would probably be Star or Prime, but they don't have that in the 3 for £6 deal anymore. It's £3 a bottle, so yeah, a bit too expensive for me, and the amount I drink. Right. Oh, a few more comments. Gaff Naldo 1. Hi, mate. Good to see you. Was on the live the other night, but wouldn't let me comment. Oh, I don't know why that is, mate. I apologise for that if it's anything to do with me. I have no idea. I'm just sort of getting used to the old go live business, but I'm glad you can comment now, mate. Nice to chat to you, mate. Got any questions in that? Feel free, ask away. Jennifer Cross is in again. Hi, Jennifer. Good to have you in again. I hope you're doing well. You having a drink tonight, Jenny, or you chilling out? I mean, what is it, Wednesday? It's not really normal to drink on a Wednesday, is it? But yeah, I don't have a day job, so I suppose it's normal for me. San Miguel gives you a buzz after 4 pints of it. Don't taste that nice, but it's 5% in it. And as I say, it was the cheapest option available. I would have much rather gone to Aldi's or something like that. But I can't drive because of my sleep apnea, and the missus is not going to want to run down Aldi with kids in bed and that. Evening, Adam. Bramwell Backroom Brewery. That's Rob, innit? How you doing, mate? Good to have you in, bud. Hope you're doing well, mate. What, you having one of your home brews tonight, mate, or what are you drinking? Yeah, Rob, the Bramhall guy, Backroom Brewery, he's a home brewer, and he's very good at what he does, apparently. I've not tried one of his beers yet, but they look and sound very nice. He does some really interesting beers with like chili and stuff like that in, and lemongrass and all sorts of styles, wheat beers. He's the other day he said he's done a Dunkelweiss beer called Dunkel Albert, which, I mean, what a name for a beer, Dunkel Albert. That's class. Gaffaldo 1. Sorry, guys, there's a cough I was on about. Well, I've been a member for a while and really enjoyed all the lager reviews. You've always been good at getting back to all the comments. Yeah, cheers, Gaff. I mean, I'll try to my best to actually give a decent reply to people's comments, because if you've made the effort to comment on my video, so at least I can do really. But it is getting harder as the channel is growing, because when I first started, I might get one comment or two comments a week or something. So I'll be like, oh, a comment, but when you get in sort of probably roughly about 20, 30 comments a day, and sometimes I might get behind a bit, but when I've got a bit of spare time, I'll answer all the comments and that. And yeah, it's nice to sort of chat to everyone. But that's a good thing about going live as well. Perhaps you can ask some questions and that in the lives as well, can't you? And it's a lot easier to reply, isn't it? Jennifer Cross just had a blast of the coffee stout. Oh, blast of the coffee stout you reviewed earlier. Totally agree with what you said. Don't think I'll sleep for a week. Yeah, it's nice, but it's bloody strong, isn't it? I was absolutely shocked the strength of the coffee in that coffee stout from Aldi's. If you've not seen the review, guys, it's the one I put up today, and it is very, very strong. It's very, very nice, but it's, for me, I can only have one, and I'm completely done, because it's very rich and sweet, but at the same time, it is nice. But I do think there must be some artificial sugar or something in there to make it taste like that. But yeah, I mean, some people absolutely love it. And even me, that sounds like my worst nightmare: sweet, rich, and too much coffee. But even I appreciate it for what it was. So I can see why it's popular. Not tonight, mate. Having a cup of tea, mate. Cup of tea, mate. Oh, you like the Yorkshire tea, didn't you, Rob? If I remember from the other night, Yorkshire tea. Is it Yorkshire brew? That is nice tea. I'm not like a massive tea snob or anything, but I do like that one. There's a new one that came out in Morrison's the other day that comes in a very posh looking box. I forget the name of it. Is it Timpson's or something like that? I tried, and that was really nice as well. Quite strong though, but I like strong tea with just a little bit of milk. Me. Jennifer Cross, really nice, but don't think I want more than half a bottle. Yeah, I can't blame her. Yeah, it's one of them beers that I would say you could use to perhaps you've had your dinner, maybe you ain't got no dessert or you don't fancy a dessert, you could have that instead, couldn't you? It's very sweet and indulgent, but you definitely couldn't session that. Your teeth will fall out. You won't sleep ever again. Have you tried that one, Rob, the old coffee stout in Aldi's? What do you make of it? Or has anyone else tried that coffee stout? I don't think I've still got the bottle about. Oh yeah, I have. I only drank it last night. That's the one. The old coffee stout in Aldi's. Oh, it still reeks. Absolutely reeks. It smells quite syrupy now, which I wasn't getting yesterday. Uncle Albert, I couldn't resist. Yeah, that's a wicked name, mate. I think it'd be really good if you made like a selection of beers, or with only Halls and Horses themed names. That'd be really good. Maybe like a beer for each character, and then you could sell them in like a 6-pack or whatever. You have Dunkel Albert. What other names? Has anybody got any other names? So maybe they could help Rob if he did decide to do that. Of other Only Fools and Horses characters, but with a themed beer sort of name to it. Like, who could your lager be named after? Don't know. You really have to think about it. And I'm surprised nobody's come up with Dunkel Albert before, because it seems quite simple, but it's not really, is it? Yorkshire tea. I mean, I can't tell that much between different brands of tea bags, really. I think a lot of it is kind of psychological, because I see some program on telly a few years ago. They were doing different products and they were blind testing them against like members of the public. And I know one of the things they done was toothpaste, and so they actually tested how effective they were. And the Tesco value one come out on top. And my mum used to buy some toothpaste called Blanks or something. It was like £10 for a tube of toothpaste, and that come out the worst. So you never really know. And I think the tea bags, I think one of the value supermarket brands came up top, which is really surprising. And I think it was like PG Tips or something like that come out one of the worst. All right, I'm joining you drinking a Corona this time. Is your light still on a bottle? Yeah. It's run out of battery though, I think. Oh, I'll just turn it back on. Might go run out. Yeah. I have two of them when I'm making my videos, but they're off camera, just sort of shining on me, just to make me look pretty, just so you can see the beer better and stuff like that. Unfortunately, they're battery powered, and for the first few days they're really good, and then the brightness sort of goes on them. They're only a Temu jobby, cost me a couple of quid each. I got two of them, and then I've got some other thing that I got from B&M or something, like a little ring light. But yeah, I do need to invest in some better equipment eventually. Just to get the lighting better and the sound and stuff like that. But you know, it's a beer channel. You don't want to make it too professional, do you? I mean, we're only drinking a beer. Although good sound and that is always appreciated, isn't it? So you're on the Corona. What are you drinking? A bottle of Corona, mate, or you're on the Perfect Draft, or you've got that in the back room? Oh yeah, the coffee stout. Yeah, that's the one I was on about. Up look if you made a wine. Behave yourself, Adam. Yorkshire tea is the way forward. That is nice, Yorkshire tea. I'm just saying some of them, like, you know, PG Tips and stuff like that, I don't think I really know better than some of the cheaper ones or the Aldi ones or whatnot. Oh, San Miguel. It's this UK brewed San Miguel it's the finish on it. It's got like a arsey kind of astringent bitterness to it. But you need to have a few before it stops bothering you. The first couple of pints are really rough, but then you stop caring. That's what I always say. If you can, drink a couple of decent beers first and then move on to the macro stuff. Because once you sort of start getting a bit tipsy, you don't really give a shit what you drink, do you? And let's face it, you'd be wasting your beer if you drink something too expensive. Bramhall Backroom Brewery says, was that Rodney IPA? I'm doing that. Rodney IPA. Oh, Rodney New England IPA. That's a good one, actually. You've definitely got to do that. That'd be, if you ever did consider sort of releasing a box to sell, that would be a really good idea, I think, to get your name out there. Everybody loves Only Fools and Horses, don't they? And you could come up with some really clever names. And a lot the people would get it. People that love Only Fools and Horses, as well as your beers, will buy it, wouldn't they? Simo, you've passed on your bug to Adam over your life. Oh, damn. I've actually been quite ill for about a month now, but it's getting worse, slowly getting worse. And I've been really quite rough the last few days. I've been to the doctors already, and they said there was something going about, and to try and sort of fight it off myself, but it's getting worse. And I'm going back for antibiotics. I think it's the whooping cough, the 100-day cough or something they called it. But the worry for me is that it turns into pneumonia, because I've had pneumonia before and it was really bad. And I ended up being hospitalized. So I don't want it to turn into that. I ended up coughing up blood and it was really bad. Maybe it might just blame Simo. Simo passed it on. Everyone's going to leave now. I don't want to get Simo's bug. Tom China, no, it's 330ml can from Lidl. Oh, the brewed in the UK though. Oh, is that the Corona? Yeah. I don't think I do apologise. I don't think I've ever tried a can of Corona. Not that I can remember anyway. I probably have when I was pissed or something. I've tried it on tap and I've tried it in a bottle, and I'm not really a fan. I have to have lime in it to give it a bit of flavour. But I think it used to be okay. But I think, I'm not sure. But I think perhaps it used to be brewed in Mexico. and they've changed it and started brewing it in the UK. But it used to taste okay, but now not so much. Not for me anyway. I prefer a bit more flavour in my lagers, a bit of bitterness and stuff. But I suppose it's refreshing, isn't it? It's no worse than the shit I'm drinking now. Trotter IPA, Independent Peckham Ale. That's another good one. Independent Peckham Ale. I bet you could come up with some really good names if you really thought about it. Would you ever consider doing that? Trying to make, like, I don't know, a beer for each style, and Only Fools and Horses themed. Oh. Anybody else got a cough or anything? My whole household seems to be ill at the minute. It's like we keep passing it all back and forward to each other. It's a shame. I was supposed to be. I won't say it actually on live in case she's watching. Never mind. You'll have to just wonder what I was going to say then. Let's crack open another bottle of this. I need to get these first two down so I can get rid of that nasty arsehole, astringent, bitter, farty aftertaste. One good thing though, it's chilled to the max. I stuck it in the freezer for about an hour. It's the only way it's really drinkable. How about Only Fools and Hefts? I'd do it for fun, for sure. Imagine a brewery picking it up and brewing a batch and designing the box like a yellow robin. Yeah, that'd be pucker, mate. That would be really good. I definitely think that would create some interest. I mean, if you've got people doing it over fucking Aunt Bessie's roast dinners and shit like that, I know what I'd rather be drinking. You know what I mean? At least those in Fools and Horses actually used to go to the pub and all that as well, you know. Flap cap on the bottle. On the bottle cap. I don't know if anybody else was live tonight. I just thought I'd pop on Whitley and say hello. And just to let you know if there's no videos for a few days. Because once I get me antibiotics, I'll probably take a couple of days off and try and let them work properly, you know. But I say that. I might not. Sometimes, when you're ill, you just got to keep going, ain't you? Even though you don't feel like it, you got to keep going. Otherwise, sometimes you just feel even worse, I think, if you just let it get on top of you and just lay in bed all day. Did you like the thumbnail for today's video, guys? One day I'm probably going to get banned or something. See how far I can push it before that happens. Take us through the creative process of your world-class video thumbnails, please. I guess I don't know. I've got a bit of a mad imagination, I suppose. I try and think of, once I've reviewed the beer, I'll actually review it and then I leave it till the next day and I wake up in the morning and then I'll watch it back and make sure that I ain't made any ridiculous errors or whatever before I post it. And I'll try and think of a sort of standout moment of the video, the coffee stout. I think when I watched it back, I was like, I said something, like, I felt like I'd been raped by a million kidney beans, coffee beans or something like that. So I thought, well, I'm going to have coffee beans. I thought, well, if I can get some coffee beans, turn them into penises, and then the coffee can ejaculate all over my face. That's the creative process that sort of goes into it. And sometimes I have more time than other days, and you can normally tell when I've been bored and had a bit more time, because you normally get a more creative thumbnail. I can sort of throw them out there really quick if I need to, but yeah, if I'm a bit bored, you tend to get something a bit more creative, you know, if I've got the time, sort of thing. Whether they actually help get views or not, I don't know. I just do it for a bit of a laugh, really, and I know some people enjoy them, so why not? A bit of fun in it. Got to have a bit of fun in life, and you have a laugh. But a while back, I tended to do them more kind of, I don't know, I'll probably still continue doing it. But for example, if I was reviewing a Spanish beer, I might have some people stabbing up some balls in the background and, you know, really sort of stereotypical, taking the piss out of each country. But I don't mean it in an offensive way. It's just a bit of a laugh, you know. I've even done a British beer and put like people drinking tea and the Queen and the what is that? Prince Harry trying to, with a gun aimed at Prince Charles or something like that, you know, just have a bit of a laugh of it. Everybody's got different cultures and that. People just get too offended these days, don't they? Some people like message me, "Oh, I'm unsubscribing because of your thumbnail offended me because you wore a turban in the thumbnail." I mean, come off it. I'm embracing the culture. Plus, I went to see what I looked like with a turban on. You way caught my eye when your videos popped up on my feed. Don't change them, make them even more ridiculous. Well, this is the thing as well. There's a lot of beer reviewers, and some people have been doing it for a very long time. And because their videos have got a lot of views, obviously I've only been doing it for about a year, just over a year. If 15 other people have already reviewed it, and you don't make a bit of effort with a thumbnail, you're not going to get views. The video could be better than all their videos. It could be the best video ever. But when people search the beer, they're probably going to look at the top 5 and they're never even going to sort of get down to you. But if by the rare occasion they do and it stands out, then you might get a click. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a good, especially when you're first starting off, I think the biggest tip I would probably give is to make your own unique thumbnails, unique to you. Doesn't have to be crazy like mine, but I just think you've got to have your own recognizable thing. Like mine are probably recognized for being a bit out there and mental, but it could be just as long as it's similar every time, so people recognize you. Then I think like Andy's beer reviews, he always has the same sort of background and stuff like that. So I think people they remember him. They think, "Oh yeah, I watched that guy before." If he pops up on another video and stuff like that, but you've got to you know, it's hard to stand out, isn't it? When you've got a lot of people, a lot of competition. I mean, it's only a bit of fun, really, but you want to get some views. Otherwise, what's the point making videos? Do you know what I mean? Hey, mate. How's you? Hello, Jamie. Watton Bud. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. How you doing, mate? You having a drink tonight? What are you up to? Thanks for tuning in. That one in the background there, Jow Al, did not make the review process because last night I had a few beers and I fancied, I bought some, what did I buy? I bought some Steinhauser from Aldi's last night and I drunk them and I fancied another beer. So I was like, let's grab one of the Owls. I do that so often. And I think I've reviewed them because I brought them to review them and I ended up drinking them, but not reviewing them. In my head, I think I've reviewed it. And I think the coffee stout, I thought I've reviewed that as well, but I hadn't. Plus, it was hard to get hold of. I just told myself I'd already reviewed it. That's why I was so late to the party. Only fools, Jennifer Cross, only fools beers, that's drinks. Cassandra Strength Whiskey. You plonker wine. Chandelier's low alcohol beer. Shandy. Yeah, that's a good one. Chandelier Shandy. blow up doll 10%, and you just don't care. I miss stuff like Only Fools and Horses. Family used to sit round and watch out the Christmas special and out of Christmas. Now it's just shit, isn't it? I mean, I didn't have no Sky TV or anything for about 5 years. And I just, the last couple of months, we got Virgin back. And it's barely been on. You just flick through like shit. The only time we've really watched it has been like watching the old films on demand and stuff like that. And I think we watched the I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here thing. Tom Charnock says, I think a lot of people watch for the humour, mate, to be honest. A lot of beer review channels are very dull. I mainly make motorbike content, and it's the same in that world. You've got to have a unique selling point. Yeah, I suppose, mate. I mean, to be fair, I'm just kind of like that anyway. I'm actually sometimes annoying my missus because I struggle to take things seriously. I'm always sort of making a joke out of everything, even when perhaps sometimes you need to be serious. So yeah, I guess it's just part of me. I always try to make a joke out of things if I can, whether it be beer or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So in that sense, it sort of just comes naturally, really. There's no method to half my thumbnails unless it's perfect draft one. And I keep it ultra simple so people know exactly what they're getting. I think that's a bit harsh, mate. But yeah, sometimes simple is effective as well, Simo. I mean, some of my thumbnails, I'll probably massively overdo it as well. It's just the main reason I do it is I just enjoy the thumbnails. I think it's important when you're first starting out, when you're building, once you've got a good solid base of subscribers, I think it doesn't matter what thumbnail you put up. You've got the people that like you and enjoy your content, then you could put anything up. You could just put you holding the beer or whatever, and people are going to watch it anyway because they know the channel, they like say like the bigger beer reviews, like the Real Ale craft beers and all that. He could just put up whatever, and he's still going to get the views because he's got like, I don't know, was it like 70,000 subscribers? But it's going to pop up on all their YouTubes and all that. So this doesn't matter after a certain degree, but when you're starting off, anything that can give you a little 0.5% extra chance of getting a view is helpful, isn't it? Bravo, Jennifer. Yeah, some good ideas there, weren't there? Tom, I agree. My reviews bore me because I go too deep into the beer. Yeah, I mean, that is one thing when I started. I mean, obviously, I watched other beer reviews and stuff like that. And I did think in my head, I'd like to do this, but perhaps not take it so seriously. If you know what I mean. It doesn't mean I don't take my reviews seriously, because I do. But I'll try to have a bit of fun while I'm at it, kind of thing. If that makes sense. But when it comes to actually scoring the beers and that, I mean, I give my honest opinions, and but I just, if I can think of a little joke or something funny to do or say, then I will, but I'll still take the review seriously. But I'll just try and make it a bit more less boring, because they are boring, aren't they? They can be really boring. I mean, you can do the short and sweet approach where you're doing reviews 2-3 minutes long. I mean, that works because people don't get bored, but then they don't get to see any of your personality, do they? So it's difficult. I prefer to try and keep my videos 8 to 10 minutes. I think is a good point where you can sort of review the beer, have a bit of a laugh as well, but it not be too long where people are like, oh, fuck this, do you know what I mean? But I mean, if it is too long, for 10 minutes is too long for some people, but you can just skip to the horny stuff, to sort of a 6 minute mark where, he's putting the beer in his mouth now. Yeah, I'll watch it from there, see what he thinks. You can obviously skip that first sort of flirting with the beer, as I like to say. The first sort of 5 minutes is just the flirting, isn't it? It's getting yourself in the mood. No offense intended. But then there's different horses for different courses as well, isn't it? I think some people probably like the more serious stuff. There'll be plenty of people who probably click on one of my thumbnails because it looks interesting and they think, this guy's a fucking nutter. I'm not watching him. Or what's he on about? Or hello, darlings. What? I'm not watching that guy. Do you know what I mean? But the people that are like that, I don't want to watch. Anyway, I want people that have got a bit of a sense of humour and stuff like that. That, you know, I want them people to watch. I don't want, you know, you got to, I think as well, the videos you make, you've got to have a certain audience in mind. And I want people who know how to have a bit of a laugh. And I don't just want older people. I want, you know, to try and get some younger people into real hours and stuff like that as well. And you're not going to do that by being boring, are you? Oh, so I'm really sorry about the cough. I do apologise. I've just subbed to your channel, Rob. I'll check out your vids. His channel's really good, mate. He does a lot of lives as well, with Rate My Beer and Simo and stuff like that. And he knows anything you don't know about beer ain't worth knowing, as they say, because he's really, really knowledgeable. And I really like the look of some of his beers. And I'd love to learn how to do some home brewing myself one day. And it's probably a channel I could learn a lot of tips from as well, or if anybody's interested in home brewing. Oh, this cough. The more I try not to cough, the more I fucking cough. It's driving me mad. You know, one of them ones. It's actually giving me an headache as well. It's like a cough and my head hurts. It's just been constantly flat out for days. Andy Bensley. Hi, Beer Monster. Hi, Andy, mate. Good to see you, bud. Just popped in to say hello. This is only night off, so can't stay. See you next time. Cheers. Oh, thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Hello, mate, and thanks for popping in and saying hi. Again, I didn't schedule it or nothing like that. I think last time I said I'll try and schedule it. But sometimes it's just the way I am, just heat in the moment. I'm bored. I'll go live. And today it was just, I'm sick of feeling bloody ill. I'll go live pretty much and just cough in all your faces. Oh, there it goes again. I shouldn't have said it. Rain's Dad 2023 says, funny enough, I've just opened a can while watching one of your reviews and seeing you live. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Rain's Dad. What beer did you crack open, mate? Enjoy it. And what review did you watch as well? Michael Slocum. It's Beer Monster o'clock. I don't even know where that come from either. It's just like when I first started the channel, little things I've kind of added in as it's gone along. Like my first ever review was so boring. I'll be the first to admit, and it was a big thing for me to switch that camera on with my anxiety. And then just, you know, get more confident, you get new ideas. And, you know, there was no It's Beer Monster o'clock or Bye Bye Darlings or anything like that on the first video. That's all just sort of stuff I've just sort of added as I've gone along. It's good to have a few little slogans and that as well, isn't it? I've got a pint. Oh, Tom Charnock, I've got a pinter that I'm about to chuck in the bin. If you want to try brewing some dishwater. Oh, God, yeah. A lot of people say that's really bad, that pinter, didn't they? I'm so glad I didn't buy one because I came really close a few times to buying the pinter. watched the adverts and all that, and I thought that sounds like a really easy way to brew your own beer and feel professional and all that, have your family round or whatever. Here, do you want a pint of beer that I brewed myself in my pinter? And I think I watched a couple of people's videos on it, and I thought, oh, maybe not. But then you still think to yourself, oh, maybe mine will come out better. But when enough people have said it's shit, that's why it's always good to see a few different opinions. And the majority opinion does seem to be that it is a steaming bag of shit. But there are the odd people that enjoy it as well. So perhaps they just better at it, or put more practice into it and whatnot, and perfected how to get the beer to be good. But a lot of people, they seem to, I've seen them pour it out, and the beer's just so lively. Anybody had any luck with the Pinter? I'm guessing it didn't taste good either if you said it tastes like dishwater. Rainsdad, Siren Soundwave IPA review. I'm treating myself to one. I can't even remember if I like that or not. I think that was one of my earlier reviews, possibly. Siren Soundwave, perhaps about a year ago. Can't remember. I liked it. I'm pretty sure I didn't hate it, because I normally remember the ones I hate. It's good to come up with your own sayings. Yeah, it is. Just to say, it just sort of happens sometimes, isn't it? You get these things that people seem to like, and it can become a bit samey, saying the same things all the time as well. But it's hard to get the balance right, isn't it? Siren Soundwave IPA is a beer reverse engineered and brewed, which also won me a homebrew competition. Well done, mate. Is that a good one then, the Siren Soundwave? Oh no, I've had it. I must have done if you just watched the review. I can't remember what I thought of it, because it's just doing pretty much every day, and you just forget. Michael Slocombe, what are you drinking tonight, Beer Monster? I am drinking a very crap lager. Not allowed to say. No, I'm actually drinking San Miguel, because I went around my local Tesco Express, the nearest shop to me, and it was basically a choice of a few different macro lagers: San Miguel, Stella, Madri, Cruz Campo, Foster's, Carlin. And I went for the San Miguel because it was the cheapest and also the strongest at 5%. But it is a bit rough around the edges, I've got to say. Particularly the bitterness on the end, this kind of an arsey, astringent kind of bitterness that once you've got a few down you, stops bothering you. But the first few are quite rough. It's almost like, when you've got a hangover and you're literally hanging out your arsehole, and you try and get that first pint down you, and it's like, oh, it tastes like shit, doesn't it? And then once you get the first one down and the second one, you're back in business, aren't you? It's a bit like trying to drink San Miguel or Stella. You just get the first few down and you're back in business, but they are pretty shit, to be honest. There's a whole number of beers I'd rather be drinking. But sadly, they don't do nothing good in the Tesco Express. I think the most premium sort of thing they do in there is like Brewdog Lost, which I'll drink that if it's going cheap, but it's not an offer at the minute. I'm not paying 15 quid for 10 cans of Brewdog Lost. But when it's on offer for like 9 quid or whatever, I'll probably rather drink it over this, to be fair. At least it's a little less arsey. Pretty tasty. That's the Siren Soundwave. Might have to revisit one day. Was in the pub Saturday having a few pints of Star Primer with pals watching Brentford, and I've heard few people try Pilsner Quell. I know that's one of your preferred ones, mate. I'll have to give it a try, mate. It's absolutely fantastic Pilsner Quell. Literally, is right up there for me personally as one of my favourite all-time lagers from any country, anywhere. It's actually the first ever Pilsner. They invented the Pilsner, so you know every other one is just a fake. You could say, couldn't you? And it's not that strong. It's 4.4%, very sessionable, but it's got such a nice bitterness to it. It's a really addictive, beautiful bitterness, a bit of spice, nice malts. I just think it's absolutely like the perfect, like almost like the perfect all rounder. You know, you can drink a lot of it. It tastes nice. Yeah, I like Staropramen as well, though. Don't get me wrong. I do really like both of them. I think Pilsner Quell is one where perhaps you need to be in the mood for it because it is very bitter. You can still session it though, despite that bitterness. But you've got to be in the mood to session something bitter, and then it's perfect. But sometimes I'd rather have Staropramen if I don't perhaps fancy the nucleation crazy bitterness and something a bit more chilled. But the flavour you get out of that for 4.5%, 4.4%. I'd love to try. I've not actually tried Pilsner Quell on tap, and I would absolutely love to try that on tap. I've never seen it on tap. And my brother see it on tap when he was up north somewhere, I think. And of course, he took a picture of it and said Pilsner Quell on tap. And he doesn't particularly like it out of the cans, but he loved it on tap. And of course, he enjoyed telling me just how amazing it is. Bastard. Pinter is okay to introduce you into a very simple homebrew. I've seen so many people disappointed with the results. It's not got the best guidance from what I've seen. Yeah. Have you had a go at that yourself then, Rob the Pinter? And did yours come out all right? I always forget beers I've tried. Oh, thank God for Untapped. I don't use Untapped myself. I prefer to, if I want to watch reviews and that, I prefer to watch somebody reviewing it on YouTube or whatnot. Personally, I'm just not much of a reader. I've got a bit of dyslexia, so yeah, it's not my strong point for sure. So yeah, I just find it easier to watch the videos personally. It's a shame because I think I would enjoy reading if I could read better. Freddie, if you get a chance, try Pilsner Quell on Tank. It's on another level. Yeah. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say that. I even love it out of the bottle or the can, but I've heard so many people say it's on another level on Tank, and even especially if you have it in Czech Republic. I was doing that thing done the other day. Apologies if you're getting ads, guys. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Obviously, channel is monetized, but I'd rather just have ads on the replay if there's a way I can do that. I don't know. I did say I was going to look into it, but I completely forgot. Narco 94. Evening, Adam, my son. Evening, bud. Hope you're doing good, mate. Thanks for coming to say hello again. I know you was in here last time I done one as well. We appreciate you, mate. Yes, Freddie, come on, bees. What's the score then? Was that the Brentford match? They only do all grain brewing. Pilsner Quell. That was my start drink. Once I had a normal beer, after every beer tastes the same after that, if that makes sense. Yeah, I've actually experienced that myself, Michael. I did. I featured Pilsner Quell in a few videos because I love it. Any excuse to think of a reason to revisit it, I'm gonna because I really, really love it. And I think I did a beer battle, Pilsner Quell against Brooklyn Pilsner, and I had to drink the Brooklyn Pilsner first because I know what the Pilsner Urquell's like. I've had it indoors where I've had a couple of Urquells in the fridge. I've drunk them, and then I've had to move on to something really shit like this. And it's actually tasted nice after, because the bitterness just sort of coats your taste buds, and it makes the other beer that follows it taste a lot better than it actually is. So it's quite a good one in that sense. I'm moving away from the mic as if I'm going to spread me germs. I don't know why. I might as well just cough and splat all over it, aren't I? Oh. Not seeing it in any pubs, but I will try a can of Pilsner Urquell. So yeah, it's still really good in the can. I still love it out of the can. Nico 94, no Adam, no Brentford game today. Next one is at Spurs on the 31st. It's bloody cough. The 31st. Hopefully, Tony bangs a couple away and sorts out them. Put a pile of smile on Paul's face on it. Then you can sell him to Arsenal after the Spurs game. Ex-Russian team, 6 smoggy ones. I'm not going to stay on too long because this cough is really peeing me off. I'm going to have to go and chill out in a bit. I still haven't tried to Star Unfiltered. I've watched your review. Can't remember what it was against now. Star Primer, I think I've reviewed it on its own, and I think I may have put it up against Stella Unfiltered, and they're both good, but I personally preferred the Stella Unfiltered because it's got a bit more of a bite to it, a bit more of a bitterness. The Star Primer is quite wheat beer like. I find it's nice. I like wheat beers, but I find Star Primer to be a bit the unfiltered one to be like a hybrid. For me, it tastes like a hybrid between a lager and a wheat beer. But for me, I'd rather just have a wheat beer or a lager instead of a hybrid of the both. So I don't think it's bad by any means, but I'd rather just have, one or the other rather than a bit of both, which that reminds me of. So yeah, I still liked it. I'd still say it's an easy 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 lager, Star Primer Unfiltered. But I'm quite a fan of Stella Unfiltered, so especially compared to the other shit normal one, the 4.6 one, it pisses all over that stuff for me. But of course, everybody's different now. Simo Sups, did you see Tony's move the free kick spot when the ref wasn't looking at the weekend? Yeah, I actually thought it was class. He moved the foam, didn't he? I watched the highlights, and he just moved the foam where the ref placed it and just put it there where I want it, and then smashed it in. But the wall was the wall didn't see him move the line, did they? So it made it easier for him to score. But yeah, that's cheeky, isn't it? But if you can get away with it, why not? But you think VAR would have picked up on it, wouldn't you? But they didn't. But a lot of stuff like that used to happen in football before the VAR, didn't it? People used to take the right piss with their throw-ins and stuff like that. There's like concede the throw-in at the halfway line, and they've run halfway down the pitch before they throw it. But now it's a lot harder to get away with that sort of stuff, isn't it? Jennifer, so it's up. Star Primer Unfiltered is more like a vice. Yeah, that's what I think, Simo. It's very much like a vice. It's like kind of like a hybrid for me. It's just saying, it even looks like a vice beer, doesn't it? I mean, I know it's supposed to be unfiltered, but for me, I think it all boils down to, without even going into like the over expensive ones, I think I would rather have just a regular Star Primer or say like a Franziskaner than the Star Primer Unfiltered. So I think that's where I'm at with it. I'd rather just have the normal one or an actual wheat beer rather than that, which I find a blend of both kind of thing for me anyway. But at the same time, I do like it. I had that I think 2 days ago actually. I had done the old 4 for 3 in Asda. I got 2 bottles of Frankie and 2 bottles of Star Prime and unfiltered. So I just wanted to try it again. Narco 94. And just looked up Pilsner Quell website, and they do it on tap at the Duck and Rice in Soho, London, and the White Horse in Fulham, London. I bet that's absolutely banging. But I'm not going to London for it. I don't like London. I absolutely hate it. Which is quite ironic because I am actually a Londoner. I lived in London till I was 21. And as soon as I could get out of there, I did. And I've not looked back since. And I think I've barely been back since. Perhaps to see family a couple of times. And I mean a couple of times. But I'll pretty much do anything I can possible to avoid London. Probably £7 on tap up there. Heartbreaker, yeah, probably, mate. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the prices are just crazy now. I mean, it depends what sort of situation you're in, isn't it? If you've got the money to afford £7 a pint, why not? You know what I mean? But you know, everyone's got their different situations financially and that. And with me, of course, I've got a big family. I've got 5 kiddies in the house. I've also got other kids that are not in the house. So, yeah, it would feel a bit selfish to sort of drink. That's why I don't have a perfect draft in that, because, you know, they're quite expensive, the kegs and that. And I'd feel like I'm sort of being a bit selfish, spending too much on beer. That's why I'm drinking shit like this, even though I'd rather be drinking a nice pint on a perfect draft or something. You know, but maybe once a few of them grow up a bit, I'll replace them with a perfect draft. That sounds really rude, doesn't it? It's difficult though. I mean, I love having a big family, but certain things are really difficult, like days out and stuff like that can be incredibly expensive. Like a trip for us lot to go to like Fort Park or something. You got like me and the missus, 5 kids, 50 odd quid a ticket. It's insane. Or holidays and stuff like that. I'm sure a lot of people with kids understand like the situation with fucking holidays. You can only go in the half term, and the price is 10 times the price. Stupid. There's one in Manchester too. It's a posh part too. It's very posh. If you tried the Jennifer, have you tried the Pilsner Quell on tap? £6 a pint of Pilsner Quell tank beer in Manchester. To be fair, if there's one beer that I wouldn't mind paying £6 a pint for to try on tap, it would be that. What's a good ale you recommend to try in the pub? Only ones I've tried is John Smith's is absolute dog shit. Do not base any ale on what that tastes like, mate. It's really bad now, John Smith's. I tried it through the Guinness Nitro Sergio, and it didn't help it. It was a bit plain. Yeah, it don't taste like nothing. It's just like, it's really smashable and smooth. It tastes a bit coppery, and that's about it, really, isn't it? From what I can remember. Newcastle Brown Ale, which I don't think too bad. Yeah, Newcastle Brown Ale has also been changed a lot over the years, and it used to be a lot nicer. According to older people that I've spoken to about it, that said that it's literally had the arsehole torn out within and is now a bag of shit. Titanic Lumporter on tap the other day. It was smashable. I can't remember if I've tried that or not. And then Ghost Ship, St. Oslo's Tribute, Timothy Taylor's Landlord. Yeah, they're good ones, as Rob said there. I would also add Butty Back as a good one. You can even get that bottle conditioned out at the supermarket for about £1.80 out of Asda. Butty Batch, 4.5%. That's very nice, very nice. Half a pint of John Smith for nothing. I wish they would do landlord bottle conditioned. Oh fuck, I'm an old person. No. I would ask you how old you are, but that'd be rude, wouldn't it? Blow smoke at you, coughing all with germs at you, why not, eh? Treat you like shit in here, don't I? That was the Welsh one on the butty back you done the other day. What supermarket was that? That was Asda. Oh, I know. Or was it Morrison's? I think you perhaps can get it in both. But Morrison's, I did a massive order from Morrison's online. You know, sometimes, or I use a site called UK Hot Deals, and I'll look up like supermarket deals and stuff like that, or if I'm getting a takeaway, and it tells you like if Just Eat or like Morrison's, Tesco, or anything is doing any offers. And sometimes you get like, for example, Morrison's do an online shop, spend 80 quid, excuse me, and get £20 off your shop. So I use that for beer. I'll just buy 80 quid's worth of beer and get it for 60 quid, and then they'll win the 4 for 3 deal on that as well. And I think that's where I found it. And the Morrison's, my local Morrison's store, may have like, I don't know, 20, 30 real hours. But on the online shop, which I did, there's hundreds of them, literally hundreds of them. So they must be doing the deliveries from a bigger store somewhere where they've got loads that they don't stock in the shop. So that's a good little tip as well. If you're sometimes if they don't stock much in your local supermarket, whatever it be, if you do the online shop, sometimes they have more selection, especially if you can get your cheeky 20 quid off your first shop or whatever. Got to be done in it. And also, little trick, make up a different email address and you can do it again, because a lot of them say like 20 quid off your first shop, and change your phone number and your email address and that. Make up another account and you get 20 quid off again. Cheeky. These little money saving things you have to do when you got the kiddies, you know. Same as when you go in a full park and that, get the old cereal boxes, buy one get one free. Got to be done. Rob says, someday, yes, Titanic do great beers on cask Cannonball. I'm going to have to try Titanic plum porter. I've not had many plum porters. I had a few in a micro pub I went to, and they were nice. Nookie Brown Ale. Oh, point. They call it a bottle of dog, mate. Newcastle Brown Ale. Bottle of dog, mate. Yeah, unfortunately, I've tried Newcastle Brown Ale, but I've tried the sort of more recent swill that they give us. I didn't actually try it when it was any good, because I only used to drink lagers like a lot of people. And so I discovered there's more to beer than just lager. Knuckle 94. Pint of Pilsner Quell in the Duck and Rice London is $7.50. London prices, of course, but it's also from the unique tank they use. Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes you've got to spoil yourself, haven't you? Especially if it's a beer you love. I saw it in the bottle in Asda, Adam. Oh, the Titanic Plum Porter. I don't think I've reviewed that one. I'm going to have to check through it. Maybe one of them ones that I picked up and it didn't make it to review. I got a bit thirsty and sort of chunk it and ended up thinking I've reviewed it. To do a lot. Terrible, really. When I was young, you get half strength Newcastle Brown Ale called Amber Ale. I'm a Geordie girl. So how strong did Newcastle Brown Ale used to be? Because isn't it like 4.5 or something like that now? And how much better did it used to be, Jennifer? Because a lot of people used to really like. My mum used to like that actually, and I reviewed it, and she was like, "Oh, I really like Newcastle Brown Ale." And I was like, "Well, the one I had was shit. Like, try that." And yeah, you realise it's changed over the years, like a lot of things. Like my mother's mum, my grandmother, unfortunately died when I was very young, but she used to drink Maccleston Stout. I've not reviewed that yet, but I want at some point for me nan, even though she's not here anymore, bless her. But that's like, I looked at it in the shop and I was like, hey, it's like 2.8% or something like that. I was like, what? I mentioned it to my mum and she said it used to be stronger than that. It's a milk stout, isn't it? The Maccleston Stout, but 2.8%. Okay, I don't think it was ever strong, but that's borderline shandy, isn't it? Cheers for recommending the Rhinebacker as well. It's not a bad beer. That still need to get the Steinhausen next time. Yeah, Rhinebacker. Like as far as like if you're on a budget, can't go wrong. Brewed at German Purity Law, 350 roughly for 500 ml cans. It's a no-brainer, in it? If you're on a budget and you fancy a nice cheap lager that's better than all UK macros, no-brainer for me. But yeah, do try the Steinhauser because it is the next level above for me. Although they're close, you know, if you don't have a lot of money, stick with a Rhinebacker. But what I tend to do is I'll go in there, buy one of each, and I'll drink the Steinhausers first, and then I'll drink the Rhinebackers after. You know, because by the time you've had 6 bottles of Steinhauser, you're moving on to Rhinebacker, you don't notice much, to be fair. Another little cost of living tip from the beer monster. Nico 94. Nice promo. I've had their tank beer for a while. Simo Sups, story of my life, that Adam. Buy beers to review and drink them before I get a chance. Yeah, it's a nightmare. Maybe it's just a thing that all us beer reviewers do. Yeah, sometimes you buy some beers to have that night and you think, I'm not touching the ones I've got in the little beer review fridge, and you run out and you're like, I really want another beer. And you're like, oh, what one shall I have? And you're sort of looking at them like, oh, sorry, it's you. And then sometimes you drink that one, you're like, I really want another beer again. And then before you know it, you're going through all your beers you've put there to sort of save to review. Terrible, really, isn't it? I tried Newcastle Ale for the first time last year. I thought it was crap. I would have to agree with you there, mate. But obviously, like you say, not a patch on how it was back in the day. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people used to love it back in the day. I don't think the clear bottle does it many favours either. But I think they've again butchered the arsehole out of it. A bit like some of the lagers and that, you know. It's all to save the brewery money in it, but there's only so many times you can tear the arse out of something before there's nothing left worth drinking. You know, even people that are not really sort of beer snobs or whatnot, after a while, even they're like, I swear Stella used to taste better than this or whatnot. You know, and that's what kind of done it for me, like getting into the beer reviews, because I was primarily a Stella drinker. I just stuck to what I know, and I was stubborn and didn't like to try other things until I noticed. Well, I actually thought I had COVID because I picked up when they first changed it to 4.6%. I picked up like 4 pint cans of it, and I couldn't taste fuck all. And I thought I had COVID. Apart from that sort of arsey taste on the end, and then I didn't even notice until I bought it a few more times, and I was just like, oh, maybe I've got long COVID. It still tastes like shit. And then I actually thought to look at the can and I see 4.6%. And then I sort of Googled, has Stella changed? And then it took me to someone's video on YouTube and all that. And that's how I first sort of discovered YouTube beer reviews and stuff, I think. Something like that. Yes, mate. You're right, John O'Brien. Good to see you, bud. Thank you for joining. Freddie Purse, like Skull Lager, is really weak. Now, my old man said it used to be in all the pubs and stronger back in the day. Yeah, that's really weak now, isn't it? I think I see that in the home bargains. It was like 2 point something%. I don't know how strong it used to be, but I know it used to be stronger than that. My old man used to drink it sometimes as well. You're drinking Budvar. Enjoy your content. Oh, cheers, mate. I appreciate your kind words. Budvar's not too bad, is it? Although I do personally prefer Pilsner Quell or Staropramen. But that's, I find, I do like Budvar, don't get me wrong. It's just more on the sweeter side, isn't it? Sweetie malts. I prefer like a bitterness on my lagers personally, but I do sometimes I don't fancy anything bitter, and then I'll drink Budvar. So it does have a place for me every now and again. Budvar are a great call for a budget price beer, and I think it's a great price in B&M and Lidl. I think Home Bargains do it for $1.59 for 500ml bottle Budvar, or you can get 4 500ml cans for $5.99 in Home Bargains, or you can buy the keg as well in there, which you can actually put in the machine called the Beer Monster, who I think should sponsor the channel. It makes sense, doesn't it? There's a beer machine out there called the Beer Monster, which I didn't know when I made the channel. I did message them on Facebook and they didn't bother to reply, so fuck them. John Last Mate Love Budvar. Channel 3, the Beer Monster money saving expert. How to get pissed the cheapest. Sounds like a future series or something on the channel, doesn't it? I think Budvar is a good safe option as well. Like I was saying, you can pick up the keg from Home Bargains. I think it's a 5-litre keg. I think it's about £15 to £18. I can't remember the exact price. But I picked up a keg of that in the summer, stuck in my freezer overnight, went to the beach with my brothers, and I brought that along. And it's quite a safe. I mean, nobody's really going to dislike that. You know, some people may prefer, things slightly different or whatnot. Like I was saying myself, I prefer something a bit more bitter, but it's a good one. It's a good all-rounder, I think, Budvar. And it was actually really nice out of that little keg that they do in Home Bargains. Probably even better out of the Beer Monster tap thing. I don't know. Newcastle Brown Ale suffered like Boddingtons have. Not brewed the same, and watery with no character anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's a long while ago that I reviewed that. It's one of the first ones I've done, Newcastle Brown Ale. And I think I gave it about a 5 or a 6 out of 10 from memory. It really wasn't great. And that was like when I first started and didn't really have much to compare it to. I still didn't like it. Boddingtons. I've not actually tried that. I thought about reviewing it. Maybe even sticking it through the Surger. Because it's a nitro, it's like John Smith's, I think, and Boddington's in it, nitro infused. Could be wrong. After I tried a Beck's in a bottle in a pub a few months back, and it was shocking. That's when I discovered your channel, because my old man used to love them beers and looked into how shit some of our beers I make. Yeah, I mean, the Beck's video done really well. I think I had, like, it said, my video thumbnail said, like, rest in peace, Beck's. And I think it done really well, because I think it's obviously when I reviewed it, I noticed that it was shit. And I've always been a fan of Beck's. And I was like, hey, what's going on here? Notice this 4%. And, again, another one of them beers that suffered the same fate as Stella and many others. So, yeah, I think that's why that video done well, because it's a beer that a lot of people liked that is now shit. Another one to add to the list, isn't it? And it is a shame because it's so bad now that it's just borderline pointless drinking. It just don't taste like nothing. They used to have a nice bit of bite to it, the old Becks, didn't it? A nice bitter finish. And now it's just piss water, complete and utter piss water. And it is a shame. But it's like the Thames now, unfortunately, drinking Thames water. Jennifer Cross says, when I was little, my father worked for Scottish and Newcastle Brewery, and now he used to take me to see the horse as they still had one horse draw in the 1980s. I bet that was a nice thing to see, though, as a kid. You look back on memories like that. Your old man. Just having an old golden hen for the first time now. What do you think of it, Adam? Old golden hen. I'm pretty sure I've reviewed it on the channel, but again, I think it was one of the earlier reviews I've done, and I think I thought it was okay. I don't think I loved it, but I thought it was decent. I think, as far as I can remember, but I'm pretty sure it was over a year ago, well over a year ago. But I think the issue with the old golden hen, it comes in a clear bottle, don't it? So it could be a bit inconsistent. And again, it tastes a lot better on tap for me than out of the bottle. I find a lot of ales out of the bottle, unless they're bottle conditioned, they're a bit overcarbonated. A lot of them come in clear bottles and stuff like that, and it's very inconsistent. Duncan Albert, love it. Yeah, that is a pucker name, isn't it? Duncan Albert. Didn't you say? Oh, sorry. Okay, again. Duncan Albert. Didn't you say it was like 9.5% or something as well, Rob? Put a few hairs on your old tits, wouldn't it? What do you think about Stella Unfiltered? I think it's a very impressive. Yeah, I'm a fan of Stella Unfiltered, especially compared to the normal 4.6 stuff. It's I think it's something they had to do, because I think a lot of people realised. I think they took the piss a bit too far with the 4.6 Stella, and I think a lot of people stopped drinking it, and now I think more people are drinking Madri and stuff like that, which is also 4.6. And I think they realise they fucked up, but instead of going back, they've just made the normal Stella like their beer that they can throw out like 10 cans for £8, like a Foster's Jobby shitter. And then they thought they'd bring out the unfiltered version to replace the old Stella, which is what I think they've done. I'm still not completely convinced it's properly unfiltered though, Stella Unfiltered, but I do like it, and it's brought back that kind of nice aftertaste, rather than the one you get from the shit 4.6 Stella. If you and my mates love Asahi on tap, do you need to give that another go? Forgot what it's like. I quite liked Asahi when I tried it out the bottle. I think it's not the most flavoursome lager, because I could be wrong, but I think it might be brewed with rice. But it's very clean and refreshing, and for that reason, it probably goes well with food and stuff like that. Bit like sort of a Cobra, I mean, it doesn't taste like a lot, but it goes well with food. But I'm not really one for partnering beer and food anyway. Like I have something big to eat, and I can't drink for like a couple of hours. I have to let my food go down. It just bloats me out. Well, I am going to go for a quick piss and grab a few more bottles of shitty UK brewed San Miguel. Back in a sec, people. Don't look at me bum. Couple more beers. Excuse me. I got some nuts. I keep forgetting the camera is up there. Festive mixed nuts. Who likes some nuts? These nuts. I got these when I bought me San Miguel's from my little Tesco Express. Obviously, it's Christmas stock. Supposed to be £3. I'm knocking them out. 50p a bag. More bargains with the beer monster. And they're also selling big bags of Tesco Specially Selected or whatever they call it. Big on blanket flavoured crisp, 30p a bag. I grab loads of them. Shut kids up on the weekend when they're watching their films. Excuse them munching. Seems like much more of a summer beer as a golden ale. Have you tried Fuller's Honeydew? Yeah, Adam, that's my favourite golden ale so far. I think I have. Again, a while ago, and I think I did quite like it, yeah. But it was a while ago. I could be wrong. I might have fucking hated it. But I think I liked it. But yeah, you can search it up at some point, see if I've done it. You can look through my beer reviews playlist, which should probably be a bit of a mission. If you just write the beer monster and then the name of the beer, you'll probably see if I've done it or not. Dunkel Albert, only 5%, but the putt is 9.3%. Oh, my version of Verdant Putty brewed another batch of putt at 8.1%. What was the 9.2% one? Knock the arsehole out of you, mate. I will have to try some of these really expensive craft beers one day. See what they're all about. I don't want to sort of try one and then be like, oh yeah, and then I go into me Asda and buy me salt beer from the salt brewery that I like and be like, it's not the same anymore. I used to love this, but now I've had that £9 a can shit. I want that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if it's a good idea. Do you know what I mean? Might make me a bit too snobby. I don't know. Fuller's Brewery, yes, amazing beer. Lovely brewery also. Yeah, they do some good stuff, don't they? I'll tell you what I like. I've got one in the fridge, actually. Sorry. Actually, forget that. I'm thinking of St. Austell's. Yeah, for some reason I thought the Proper Job was brewed by Fuller's, but it's not. St. Austell's, isn't it? I got a bottle of Proper Job in the fridge, and I picked up a bottle of what I believe to be a Aldi clone version of the Proper Job. I think it's called a Proper Hoppy IPA, something like that. You know what Aldi's, when they're blatantly taking the piss as much as they can without getting into trouble. Be like me and my thumbnails. And I thought I'd put them up against each other and see how it compares, because I really like the Proper Job. And if we can get it for a little bit cheaper and it's just as good, money saving with the beer monster. But I'm also thinking about perhaps doing some blindfolded stuff as well. But it's difficult to know how to do it. I think it would be interesting sometimes, because sometimes I think your mind can affect things and play tricks with your taste buds. Like if you know you're drinking an Aldi clone next to the real thing, sometimes just you think, Aldi clone, it's not going to be as good and it could affect your judgment. I don't know. Perhaps it don't. I mean, I always try and be honest. If I think the clone one tastes better, which sometimes it does for me, and it tastes better. But I could see if I can get my daughter to whack a blindfold on, pour them out and try them both and say what one I think tastes better. because although I like the proper job, I've not had it enough times, I think, to be able to go, yep, that's definitely the real one. Do you know what I mean? I may have had like 5 bottles of it over the space of last 2 years. Where are we? Everything else is made under license in the mega breweries. Yeah. Freddie Burst. I'm not sure if Beer Moretti has. Yes, it has fucking changed, mate. I've just got into Star Prime too much, but thought it went flat quick and was a bit shy. Beer Moretti has definitely changed. Very recently, actually, I done a scumbag beer battle, which was Beer Moretti versus Stella versus Madri versus, I think there was another one in there, I can't remember. And I actually thought Beer Moretti was the worst one. And if you're a follower of the channel, like, you'll know how much I hate UK brewed Stella. But Beer Moretti was by far the worst one out of a bottle. And after that review, the beer battle, scumbag beer battle that I did, I went to a carvery with the in-laws about a week later, and I thought I'll try it on tap, and maybe it's better on tap. Maybe it's still like the Italian version or whatnot. And it was absolutely awful. It was so bad. I got halfway through the pint, and I'm drinking San Miguel here, so I'm hardly a beer snob. I got halfway through the pint, and I had to say to the barmaid, like, can you put a little bit of lemonade in this to try and get rid of that shitty aftertaste? And then it was all right. Well, all right, it was drinkable, but it was absolutely terrible. Beer Moretti. Fuller's London Pride is a pint I tried in Brentford a few years ago. Hated it, but I did only drink Foster's back then. I should maybe give it another go. Yeah, sometimes I think if you, when I used to only drink lager, whenever I tried it out, I was a bit like, oh, it doesn't taste like lager. Oh my God. But then you try a few different ones out and let your palate adjust to something new, and find what sort of ales and that you like. There's so many different ones. I think even if you love your lager, you're bound to find some ales that you like. You just got to be prepared to taste a few shitters before you find something you like. You know, it's like anything. You know, there's just so many different ones out there. Same with like wines and stuff like that. You know, I'm not really a wine drinker, but I bet if I was to actually put the time in to try loads of different bottles, I'd probably find some that I love. But, you know, it's quite an expensive thing to do, isn't it? Keep buying bottles of wine. Shit. Micro pubs, I think, are a good place to go because they're small. You get chatting to people. People will recommend you different things of what they taste like and stuff like that. They're quite knowledgeable. A lot of people that drink in the old micro pubs, and they'll probably point you in the wrong direction. In the right direction if you're saying that you're trying to get into ales and stuff. You had the Big Job from St. Austell's. No, I've not, but I would love to try that as a fan as a proper job, which is just like a hoppy explosion in it. The Big Job, to think that it's going to be even more hoppy than the proper job. I definitely need to try that beer, that's for sure. I'd love to try it. Del Dunkel. Try it again, get a bottle of Pride. The ABV is stronger than on tap. Adam, I do a blindfolded reviews. Not all the time, but it's to do with if you just do a battle, then it's so much better and it's great for tasting. It will amaze you. Yeah. I mean, if you've got a blindfold on, that's what I was thinking. It's just literally you and your taste buds and any sort of preconceptions of a beer or even the color of it. Because even things like if you're doing a beer battle, one of the bottles is green, straight away you're thinking that could be a reason to moan at that beer. But if you just got and put it in front of you, you got no sort of things that can enter your mind that can perhaps persuade your judgment. You're just trying the beers and you're saying what one's better. So yeah, it's just the whole how to actually make the video, which is a difficult thing for me. Obviously, I need a blindfolder, and my missus won't get on the camera. My daughter probably would, but she's very shy, so she probably wouldn't say much. She might just come on the video, blindfold me, and then go off or whatever. I don't know whether she'd actually be like, actually do a bit of talking and interact. But like anything, perhaps the first one may not be so good because she'll be really shy, but then she may get more confidence and enjoy it. She's also getting to the age now where she'll be able to start having a drink soon as well. Could do something with my son one day as well. He's coming up 19 now. Jennifer Cross, what's the worst lager you ever had? I would vote for Coors. The worst lager I've ever had. Oh, I've tried a few shitters in my time. The worst lager. It's very difficult. I mean, if you're talking about the most tasteless, I'd probably go for something like a Bud Light. But worst as in just Carlin's pretty bad for me. Carlin is really rough. Birra Moretti is really, really rough. The UK brewed one, obviously. What else sort of sticks out? Oh, Cruz Campo. That just tastes like syrup to me. That new Cruz Campo one is really pretty bad. Probably not the worst, but it's definitely an honourable mention, put it that way. Especially when it claims to be fucking Spanish and it ain't. I don't know. But you're talking about UK brewed lagers. I mean, you're talking about lagers. What's the worst? And in the UK, there's a whole host of names you can throw in there, isn't there? There's really a lot. It's quite bad, really. I can't think off the top of my head. There was a really bad one I tried a few months back. Excuse me. It was an Indian. No, that was a craft lager. No, I think it was an Indian craft lager. Can't remember the name of it. But I had a turban on in the thumbnail and it tasted like shit. It really did. But yeah, there's probably so many, Jennifer, to name. There's not one that really stands out, but I do think Carlin's pretty awful. I remember trying Birra Moretti the first time out of the bottles years ago when it was imported. I liked it, but it's been brewed in the UK for quite a while now. Yeah, and it's definitely not as good as it used to be, mate. That's for damn sure. It used to be nice. It's a bit of a shocker now, isn't it? To be honest, I thought I looked a proper twat when I did the blindfold on you. Yeah, I mean, you can't see either, can you? You can spill the beer and all sorts, couldn't you? Never tried a micro pub. We'll have to give one a go, to be fair. Yeah, I'd recommend a micro pub. Especially if you're looking to get into trying different beers, because they tend to have, I mean, they're all slightly different, but they tend to have a selection of ales and ciders from local breweries and stuff. And you can try them all out. And then when the cask is finished, they put a new one on. And sometimes you'll never see the same one again. So each time you go in there, it's like a beer tasting experience. You could just they do like 1/3 of a pints, and you can get like a third of 3 different ones, try them all out, find one you like, and then get a pint sort of thing. And they tend to be quite cheap as well. They tend to be quite reasonably priced. And what I like is the last one I went to, I had a little bell. You just ring the bell. They come over and ask you what you want. There's like signs up, big signs, like a chalkboard saying all the different beers they do, different ABVs, and some of the tasting notes you might expect from each beer. But what I liked is the old micro pubs. A lot of people in there start chatting to each other about, oh, what can you taste in this one? And you try it and you taste what you taste, say what you can taste, and somebody else is getting something different, this, that, and the other, and it's just good. Yeah, I do enjoy them. It's more like going to someone's front room than an actual pub. It's very small, and they have rules like a lot of them, they don't let you go on your mobile phone, or at least answer your mobile phone. Like if somebody calls you, you have to go outside and things like that. It's all about making it social, a bit like it used to be before mobile phones existed. Pretty much. Like I said the other day, Menabrea is the best Italian lager at the moment. Now and imported Menabrea, yeah, Menabrea is 1,000 times better than the Moretti now. I remember liking that one, although it was a long time ago that I reviewed it. I remember it really impressing me. On my last can of Wholesome there, mate, like a safety pint, not the best, but smashable. And my local shop does a pint can of it. That's it, mate. It is. I'd rather be drinking Holston than this San Miguel shit. That's for sure. I do quite like Holston, although it's brewed in UK now or Netherlands or a few different parts, depending on where you get it. It tends to be one of the least affected ones. Some beers just get affected so much once they're brewed over here. Others, they seem to not really change too much. My old dad likes Carlin now because he can't drink stronger percent. No, but for me, it tastes weirdly fizzy, like a soft drink string. Yeah. Yeah, it's been so long since I had Carlin. I've not even reviewed it on the channel because I hate it that much. But I think I would like to see what I think of it now. I only tried it when, as I used to drink Stella in the pubs and that. If for whatever reason the pub didn't have Stella, then normally they would have like a Foster's or a Carlin, Carlsberg or whatever. And I'd pretty much only drink it if I was forced to. And I really did struggle with Carlin. I'd even rather drink Carlsberg than Carlin personally. I can't remember why. I'm sure it had some sort of dodgy, like metal taste to it or something. Yeah, give one a go, Freddie. It's an experience if nothing else. I mean, if it's not for you, at least you can say you tried it. I say they're normally quite reasonable. Normally, the higher the ABV, the more expensive the pint, sort of thing. And a lot of them will just let you go walk in there and have samples and that for free and things like that as well. That's actually one of the things that sort of made me start my channel as well. I went to a micro pub and they said I was really good at picking up the different flavors and that in the beers for somebody that only used to drink lager. Jennifer Cross, Carlin's adverts used to be 4.2 for a stronger taste, just a lemonade. Carlin, isn't that like 3.4% now? I know that's Carlsberg. I know Carlsberg's 3.4% now. Yeah, I did a video about that as well. Some of them let you bring your phone. Yeah, especially the ones if they don't serve food or perhaps they only sell like crisps, nuts, or whatever. Just chat to them and say there's a pizza shop across the road or whatever. Do you mind if I go and bring a pizza in? They're normally more than happy for you to do that. It's only if they actually have options where they sell their own hot food, then maybe they might get funny about it, which I suppose you could possibly understand. You and Simo had FS in the brown can the other week and couldn't finish it. Wasn't for either of us. Have you had it, Adam? FS in the brown can. Is that the all malt version of FS, because I know you get the FS Pilsner, which I don't think's great, but I can drink it, sort of thing. A bit like this San Miguel. Yeah. FS in the brown can. Yeah, I don't think it was for me either. I can't remember. I'm sure I've had it at some point. I can't really remember, to be honest with you. My Freddie Burst, my local lets me bring takeaways in, as they don't do hot food, but they sell Star Ramen for £4.80, which ain't bad near London prices. Yeah, for near London prices, I suppose that ain't too bad. For me, obviously, you're going into a pub, you're going to pay more. But if you've got a decent option like a Star Ramen lager, I don't mind so much. It's when you go into a pub and it's like you can either have Madri, Cruz Campo, Carlin, or Carlsberg, and you're like, so what shit beer do I want to pay a fiver for? do you know what I mean? Whereas at least if there's something you like in the pub, at least you're enjoying the beer that you've paid a lot of money for, then I don't mind it so much. It's when the selection is just so bad. But you want to have a drink, you want to socialize. It perhaps it's somebody's birthday party or whatever, and you just have to pick from a bad bunch. And then I'd normally just drink Guinness, because at least it doesn't taste like shit. Most rubbish lagers are one the 3.7% for tax reasons. Now, yeah, Foster's went down, didn't it? Foster's went down. That was 4%. It was already quite weak, and then I think it went down. Did it go down to 3.7? And I think Carlsberg's gone down to 3.4. Carlin, I'm not sure what Carlin is, but I think that went down as well. Of course, Stella went down a bit. John O'Brien, Adam, don't explain anything. Your style of content, basically, having a bit of fun of banter, but describing the beer on point, I think, especially my palate. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that, mate. That's it. I like a little bit of fun, a little bit of banter. Don't take it too seriously. But at the same time, I'll just give my honest opinion on the beer. That's all I can do. But sometimes I've noticed that I've reviewed a beer and I almost feel bad for this sometimes. And like I want to go back and revisit some because I review it and I quite enjoy it at the time. And then I have it again because I liked it. And I think, what the fuck was I thinking? Because I think sometimes just the time of the year, the mood, if you've had a hard day and you crack open a beer and it may be a shit beer, but it tastes quite good because you know how your day's gone. And then you try it again on a day where you haven't had a hard day and you're like, did I really review that beer and give it a 9 out of 10? When right now I'm thinking a 6. So yeah, there's so many different things that can come into play. And that's why when I do revisit the beers, I just give it a score for how I'm feeling on that particular day. Because lagers, you may on a hot day, they're probably going to get an extra mark just because it's hot outside. And just the mood, everything comes into it. I think the temperature you served it at, the glassware, they're very subjective, and as I say, it just depends how you're feeling sometimes. Steve Allen, you all right, mate? Look good to see you, bud. I've been on the Green King Lager called Flint Eye. Not tried that, mate. It's not bad. Well worth a try. Green King's Lager. I didn't even know they did a lager. Is that from a pub, mate, or is that like out of a bottle? Where'd you get it from? I wouldn't mind giving it a try. John O'Brien, have a drum while saying, let's see if it's worth a buy. Yeah. Let's see if it's worth a buy. That's just another one of them things that I never used to say that just sort of came out of nowhere. I've just randomly said it once. And I thought, I could add that as another little thing. But sometimes I forget to say it. I think, especially if it's a budget beer, I tend to say that more. Is it worth a buy? Same with the aroma things. Like, the reason I do the whole let's check out the aromas is because I've always felt, if I'm honest, every time I sniff a beer, I feel like a bit of a prick. Because it's just not something the everyday person does, is it? You don't walk into a pub and have a pint of Star Primer, mate. Ew, that smells absolutely delicious. I'm getting a bit of more to come. Just feel like a bit of a prick. So I'm kind of taking the piss out of beer sniffers in a way when I do the check out the aromas. Like, I appreciate it. It is a thing. It does kind of add to the overall experience of the beer. But I still feel like a bit of a tit when I smell a beer. So I just feel the need to sort of throw a bit of light-hearted banter in there, especially if it's a posh beer. And Adam, at least you know Guinness is still brewed in Ireland, lol. Well, the cans at least. There you go, mate. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it, mate. Although I have sort of heard that the ABV of Guinness can sometimes vary between 0.1% depending on where you buy it. I'm not sure if that's true, but I'm sure somebody said that in a comment on one of my Guinness videos. They may be wrong, but I just seem to remember somebody mentioning that. Freddie Burst, Foster's was a safety pint back in the day. Everybody drank it. It was only £3.20 a pint, but now they lower it too much. Yeah. I mean, Foster's was just an easy drinking, sessionable pint. If you knew you was out for a long session, while it may not be the best beer, a lot of people would probably rather be drinking a Stella. But what I used to find as a Stella drinker, say you're out with the lads and everybody's hitting the Fosters and you're on the Stella, you're going to look like a tit because you're going to get pissed quicker than everybody else. So sometimes you got to join them on the Fosters. Otherwise, you're not on that same wavelength. 10 pints of Fosters is not the same as 10 pints of Stella, especially when it used to be stronger. Not only did it taste stronger, it really sort of hit you, the Stella, after a while, didn't it? Whereas the Fosters, you can just slam it down consistently, constantly in and out of the pisser, but it was inoffensive with it. But now, again, like you say, mate, they've just lowered it too much. Where, what annoys me is the price don't get lowered. You need to drink even more of that now to get pissed, having even more pisses. Jennifer Cross says, Freddie, your child, I used to drink Beck's on the draft for 45p and a half. And I'm old. £45p a pint. You ain't got a time machine, if you, Jennifer. 45p a pint. Yeah. I do. Obviously, 45p was probably a lot more money back then, I'm guessing, but sounds lovely. Somebody invented a time machine. Let's all go back there together. 45p a pint. That's going to get messy, isn't it? Very quickly. I mean, I can't remember what the cheapest I can remember a pint being. It's not 45p, not that cheap. I can't remember. I can definitely remember it being £1 something. I mean, I'm 39 this year, so I'm not that old. But I can remember it being quite common to get like 180 a pint or whatever. And that was in London. So To be fair, I don't ever sniff my beer down the pub, lol. But with the Corona or a Soul, they can smell a bit greeny. Yeah, that's like the weed smell, isn't it? Like somebody's just walked past you with a massive spliff hanging out their mouth. But you do like a J, so you don't mind it so much. Yeah, my brother says that as well, actually. He likes the smell of a skunked beer. Some people do, that is a thing. Some people do like they do go for the green bottles and the clear bottles because they do like that smell of a skunked beer, which is interesting. So I think some of them perhaps do it deliberately. Just put a bit of e-liquid in me. I think this probably ain't doing me cough no favours. It's got to be better than smoking fags, isn't it? I gave up smoking cigarettes when I had me pneumonia a few years ago. Adam, you've got to review the Guinness Extra Stout Irish and Nigerian versions. That sounds like a good idea, mate. Well, like a versus video. Do you reckon that'll make a good beer battle? I'd like to do some more of them and just kind of run out of ideas. But as I say, I've got the proper job against the Aldi one in the fridge to do. But that's not going to be the most popular video. Of course it's not. But I just think it'd be interesting to see how they stack up. And also, I like to try to make. I like making videos that could potentially save someone money. If you get a cheaper version of a beer you like, then it's a bargain, isn't it? I think it's the Nitro Surge ones. I think it might be 0.1% stronger in Ireland. Oh, it might be that, mate. I do think the Nitro Surge cans are better. I don't think it's just a gimmick. I've got my Nitro Surge sitting about somewhere. Every now and again I buy. Oh, it's here actually. The old Nitro Surger. Battery lasts forever on this thing. I don't think I've ever charged it up since I've had it. I do like the old Nitro Surge cans, actually. It is just like having a proper pint of Guinness. In fact, I'd say it's better than, I mean, a lot of pubs don't know how to pour a Guinness properly, do they? So it's better than a lot of pubs. Although, unfortunately, the cans are more expensive on the Guinness Nitro Surge than the normal draft cans. Steve Allen says Tesco sell Flint Eye. At least mine does. But I'm in Bury St Edmunds, the home of Green King. I don't really go to, although I go to Tesco Express because it's literally the closest shop to me. Big Tesco's, I don't really go. It's a little bit out of my way. To be honest, my closest supermarket is Morrison's, but they like to penetrate your back passage. So the next closest is Asda and Aldi. I tend to sort of do a little mix between them two. I used to always go to Aldi's, but they put their prices up quite a lot now, and they don't have the selection of like an Asda, do they? So I tend to go to Asda at the minute. Freddie Burst, an old Polish mate who used to work with me, loves a can of Zuba. I've had one with him, but forgot what it's like. I'll have to check out your review, mate. Yeah, I've done quite a few Polish beers actually. I did a week where I done different Polish beers every week. I quite like some of the Polish lagers. Zuba, I think, was quite one of the better ones as well, actually. I think I might have gave it about an 8 out of 10. It's quite a strong. Is that the 6% Pilsner? With the bison on the front, if I remember correctly. Or I might be mixing up with something else. I'm not sure. Because they don't have the easiest names to remember, the old Polish ones today. SM Day 2005. Love your Eastern European beer reviews, Adam. Cheers, mate. Hopefully, I'll find some more to review in the old European shops. You went to London, you went to a random off license in my town last year and looked at the cans of beer in the fridge and just happened to think of an imported Belgium Stella 5.2. What a beer. Yeah, it's completely different beer. It's on a whole new level for me. Massive difference between UK brewed shit. That's when I really used to like Stella, when it was 5.2. And got some messy memories of it back in my younger days when it was 5.2. Used to get the old 6 for a $5 deal on them. And when I was sort of about 18, and they used to sort me right out. I say 18, it's probably more like 14 or 15. Got older brothers, you see. You've got a big supermarket near you that specialises in the stuff. That's always handy to have, mate. I don't have a big one. I have a few sort of small ones that do bits and pieces. Guinness version would be good. Guinness versions would be good. I'll definitely take that one into consideration, mate. I like doing the old Guinness videos as well. I did try one of the strong Guinness ones when I first started my channel, and I put it up against the Dragon Stout. But back then, I didn't really have a appreciation of stout. I actually didn't really like stouts. I think I'd said they were both like a 6 or whatever. But I reckon my opinions would have completely changed since, because I've actually quite enjoy a stout now. Actually, it's been a big turnaround as my taste buds have sort of got more used to trying different styles of beers and all that. Some of the stuff that perhaps I gave a bad review, and probably opinions would change over time, you know. Zubar is Bison 6%. Yeah, is the one I'm thinking. Yeah, I think I quite like that one. It's definitely got a pair of balls about it. 6%. The old Polish don't mess about. They do like a strong lager. They really do. Cheaper to get pissed, I suppose, isn't it? Shame we don't see them sort of things on tap over here instead of the Carlins and the Fosters of the world. Freddie Burr says, I was on a job in I don't know if you can see these comments. That's why I read them out, by the way. In Handsworth, a shop had cans of OJ Lager. Was that a Rangy Boom? No, OJ Lager. I've seen that one. They do a Pilsner as well, don't they? First time I've ever seen it. They had a strong one at like 5%. Got a 5% one and thought it was nice. Not seen in the shop since. I think I've done the OJ Lager. But was it OJ Pils? Was it called OJ Pilsner? Perhaps there's a Pilsner and a Lager. I mean, a Pilsner is a Lager, but I seem to remember it being called OJ Pilsner. I could be wrong. Michael Slocum, I can actually drink UK brewed Stella. It's okay to drink. I do drink better beers, but on an off day, I'll drink Stella. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll still drink it because it's just, especially when you're just going around your local offie or whatever, there's not a lot of choice, is there? And if you want a beer, you want a beer. And as I say, once you've got the first few down, a bit like this San Miguel I'm drinking now, once you've got the first few down, you stop giving any fucks, really, don't you? You sort of have to persevere. So I say, like when you get that first beer after a night out on the piss, and you really trying to force it down you, but you always feel better for it. Air of the dog, that's it, isn't it? The old air of the dog. Adam, you've also got the Guinness West Indies Porter, which is also very good too. Yeah, I'll have to try that one. You know, I know I tried one of them against the Dragon Stout, but I don't remember which one it was. I'll have to look back. But perhaps even get that one again, as I say, because I think my opinions have tried. Maybe I could put all three of them against each other. But yeah, I'd enjoy that because I do quite like a stout now, and especially like some of the stronger ones back, as I say, when I first started the channel, I was more of a lager drinker only. So trying as like a stout that's like 7-8% probably blew me away, and I thought, what the fuck is this? Do you know what I mean? Whereas now I've experienced that sort of thing before, so it won't be such a shock. Yeah, I think it was PJ Pilsner now, yeah. OJ Pilsner, yeah. I'm sure I've done OJ Pilsner. I forget where I got it from. I think it actually may have been a random European. Also, Adam, you can now get imported San Miguel in an off license as well, by the way. Oh, fucking hell. Cough me guts out. I'll have to check my off licenses, and I'd like to compare it to the UK brewed version. It's always good comparing the proper versions in the countries they're supposed to be from versus the UK stuff, isn't it? And it's being able to get hold of the proper versions that's the hard thing for me. I mean, I would be all over that sort of content if I could get hold of the proper beer Moretti versus your UK'd one. Just for example, I'd love to do all them videos of everyone I could get hold of, but it's just getting hold of them that's the problem. Especially being on the budget and that. If you've got the money, you can make it happen, can't you? But it's not always easy. See you later, Adam. See you later, Rob. Thanks for joining, mate. It's good to see you, bud. Take care, bud. Till next time, yeah? What do you think of AB and Bev? Wow, they're just fucking wrecking everything, mate, and they same as all the big beer companies. They're buying out the smaller companies, so they got less competition, and then they're changing the beers, and yeah, it's a bit of a mess. And I feel like there should be some laws and that made up to prevent some of the stuff that goes on in the beer industry. Because you never see on the cans, for example, when they lower the ABV, you never see like new recipe, new watered down recipe, do you? Or anything like that. Nothing to give the consumer any sort of indication that the beer's changed, unless you just so happen to notice. Have you tried Tennent's up in Scotland? They love it. I did have a pint up there. Thought, was it okay? Nothing special down here. Feel like they can only sell the strong one, which probably wouldn't be for me. Oh, what the super Tennent's? Yeah. I've not actually tried Tennent's before. I think I see it in B&M, but I've not tried it. But I'm sure I will get around to reviewing it at some point. But I think where it's quite weak, and I think it was only available in like a 4-pack or whatever. Sometimes I'm a bit funny of buying a 4-pack of beer that I think is going to be shit. If it's just one can that I randomly find in Home Bargains or whatever, like an individual can. A bit like that Brewdog one I did the other day, the Neon Dreams. I wanted to try it, but I didn't want to buy like a crate of it or a 4-pack. But I see it going for £1.19 for the odd one, then I don't mind, because if it's shit, quid down the drain. Move on to the next sort of thing, What do you think of Innis and Gun beers? Hit and miss. I quite like them, actually. I've got to be in the mood for trying something different. I like the fact that they kind of do their own thing, mixing with, like the sort of whiskies and stuff. I like the special edition one that I did recently from B&M. And it was really nice. It had a really nice smoky whiskey sort of cask taste to it. And I paid £2.50 for it. And it's supposed to be about £9 a bottle. And it was fantastic, especially for the price I paid. So, yeah, I think Innis & Gunn are pretty good. Not the best, but pretty good. And nice if you fancy trying something a little bit different, mixing beer with whiskey and stuff like that. And rum and that. It's a nice change, isn't it? Especially if you happen to like whiskey, they can make for interesting results. Bought a couple of bottles of Singer, or Sing, I think it's pronounced it, in Tesco earlier. It used to be imported from Thailand. Now it's brewed with shipping name under license. Have you tried it? I have reviewed it, but I can't remember what I thought of it, to be honest with you, mate. I think that's the only time I've ever tried it. I think it was just so, but I can't remember whether it was the UK bottle, sorry, the Shepherd Neame one, or the one from Thailand, or whether I even checked at the time. Whether it was the UK brewed or Thailand one, I might not have even checked. I'm not sure, but it is somewhere on my review beer review playlist, mate. I'm sure I reviewed it. Does it have like the white label with a gold writing? A lot of people are boycotting BrewDog now because their owner is refusing to pay their staff the correct minimum wage. Being on the news the other day, I see. I don't really watch the news, to be honest with you, because I don't like media influence. I think it's all a load of shit. Because they'll convince you into things, and they like, oh, buy an electric car, and everyone goes out and buys them, and then they buy a diesel car, and then what ends up being worse than petrol. Yeah, I tend to avoid telly. Boycotting BrewDog, though, I think there's more reasons to boycott it other than just the staff. If the staff are not getting being paid properly, that's a piss take, isn't it? Everyone should be paid at least the minimum wage. That's what it's there for, isn't it? The minimum wage. So that's just completely not on if they're doing that. And you would think with how much they've been watering down all their beers, they could afford to pay their staff a proper wage, wouldn't you? True 99. You can get imported Corona Extra and an off license every now and then. It's hard to find though. Oh, see, that'd be another good one to put the imported one against the UK brewed one, the InBev one. I'm sure it tastes a lot better. I would think so anyway. But it's yeah, it's being able to find them. Didn't realise how much the Scots love Tennent's. It's like their Fosters in the pub up there, and it's brewed up there. I think. I'm not actually sure. I don't know a lot about Tennent's, and I say I've not tried it, but I do know, as you say, it's very popular in Scotland. Ali D, recognise. You right, mate? How you doing, bud? How you doing, bro? To be honest with you, I'm feeling like shit. I've not been very well for a while now, and got a doctor's appointment on Thursday, which I rung up for on Monday. That's how long it's taken to actually get to see a doctor, because there's not enough bloody appointments for people. I need to get some antibiotics, as I think I have the whooping cough, which is like otherwise known as the 100-day cough. But my worry is it's getting worse and worse, and I don't want it to turn into pneumonia, which I've had before, so I'm more susceptible for it. And I was very ill and had to go to hospital for about a week when I had pneumonia. So yeah, I need to get them antibiotics down my neck. White label and the gold dragon thing. Yeah. I know I've reviewed it. What's your favourite local brewery? Local brewery to me. I will be honest, I need to try some more from some of my local breweries. I mean, you got the standout one would be probably Shepherd Neame. They're in Kent. I mean, I'm in Kent, and they're in Kent. I don't know. I'm guilty of not trying much from my local breweries, to be honest. But I do intend to in the future. But probably, just because of the fact that I've not tried many others, probably Shepherd Neame. Not that I really drink much of their stuff, but it's pretty good. How you doing, LED? Anyway, mate, always good to see you, bud. Also, Adam, I got a bottle of Tyskie from Tesco earlier. Did you know the bottles are brewed in Poland, but the cans in Netherlands? Yeah, you get weird shit like that going on a lot, mate. I have noticed, I did a video about Tyskie, how it seems to vary where it's brewed. Sometimes it's Poland, sometimes it's Netherlands, like you say. I've even had it before brewed in the UK. And yeah, it's random. It's the same as I did another video of Heineken. And if you buy the little stumpy cans, the 330ml cans of Heineken, they're actually brewed in the Netherlands and they're nice. Whereas if you buy the big 660 bottles or the 440 cans that you get in, say, like a multi-pack of 18 or whatnot, they're brewed in the UK and they're far worse than the proper Netherlands brewed Heineken for me. And you can even go in Tesco's and buy the small little for 330 cans that are brewed in Netherlands, and they're actually next to the big bottles in the same shop, brewed in a different place. And the ones that are brewed in the Netherlands are sometimes cheaper as well, and they taste so much better. So many people have had long coughs recently. I hope you get better, bud. Cheers, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's going about. I've already been to the doctor about it, and he said, look, try and sort of get over it yourself without needing your antibiotics because it is going about. But yeah, it's affecting me quite a lot as time's gone on, and it's definitely not getting any better. It's definitely getting worse. So I think it's time for the antibiotics. He did say come back in like a week if you're struggling. And me being me, left it about 3 weeks, and I'm really struggling now. I don't like going to the doctors, so I will sort of not go if I possibly can, you know. You love Tyskie. Tyskie's a nice beer. It's a really nice beer. It's a good all-rounder, I think. I only tried Zuba. Do you recommend any foreign beers, mate? Oh, there's loads. What style of beer, Freddie? Jagman says, how we doing? All show some love to Jagman. Good to see you, bud. Wolfas Engelmann ones are good. The Volkus Engelmann ones, I tried the wheat beer, which I liked. And I also, where are they from? Lithuania, is it? I tried the wheat beer, which I liked, and I tried the Blanc, which I didn't like. It tasted like pear drops. And it was very sweet. But, you know, each their own. Any macro beer brewed in the UK is absolute muck, if you ask me. I mean, you're not far wrong, mate, are you? There's not many good ones, is there? I mean, there's a few I think are less affected, like Staropramen. I can still drink now. I think that's still decent, even though it's brewed in the UK now. It's not literally been completely annihilated like your Beer Moretti's and San Miguel's and stuff like that. It's still somewhat decent. Beer Moretti and stuff like Holsten Pils. Again, it's not as good as the German one, but it's one of the less affected UK brewed ones, so to speak. Good to see you, mate. You under the weather, buddy? Yeah, I am, mate. I'll always try to sort of just carry on the best I can, not to feel sorry myself. That's why I've just switched on the camera tonight. I thought, I'm just going to have an early night, feel sorry for myself, and you just got to carry on the best you can. But unfortunately, I've had to I've got to go to a doctor's on Thursday, get some antibiotics, and hopefully you should see me perk up a bit within the coming days. Perhaps by Monday, I'll be right as rain and not coughing every 2 seconds, which would be nice. Quite enjoy these lives, actually. It's I thought I was going to be really anxious, but I actually finding it really nice to interact with you guys who like comment on my videos and stuff like that. And I like answering your questions and just seeing you like chat amongst each other and stuff. It's actually really cool. It's just a nice way to kind of communicate with you all, really. Because you know, I try to reply. Well, I do reply to most comments and stuff, but I'm not the best at typing. You probably notice all the typos and that, but I do try. Bit of sleep in your eyeball. Yeah, Lithuanian bit hit and miss. I would agree from the Lithuanian beers I've tried. Some of them were absolutely shite, and some of them were very nice. But I absolutely love just trying all different beers from around the world, good or bad. You know, it's to think I used to drink the same beer day in, day out. It's just so boring. You know, there's literally thousands and thousands of beers out there. Why not try as many different ones of them as you can? Some of them you're going to love, some of them you're going to hate. But unless you try as many as you can, you're never going to find your perfect beer, are you? You know, and it's just even some of the beers I review there are absolute bag of shit. And I still kind of enjoy the review because it's all part of the fun, it's all part of the experience. And you know, you've got to try some shitters to get to the good ones, didn't you? And of course, everybody's different, and some people were like, "Oh, I actually really like that," and it's like, "Wow, you like something that I said tasted like a woman's period, mate." You know, so it's funny how different people's tastes change. You know what I mean? But that's all part of the fun of it. That's what makes it good, isn't it? Different opinions, different views, and everybody has different taste buds and whatnot, don't they? Got to get off now, Adam. Cheers and see you next time. Thank you very much for joining Nico94, mate. Appreciate it. AD says, although I can't stand the company, Lost Lager or whatever it's called is okay, but I won't buy it just because I can't stand Brewdog. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. To be honest, I don't mind Lost. It's not too bad, like when you compare it to other UK brewed lagers, is it? And what I like about it, it tends to come when it's on offer in that same price bracket as your Fosters and your Stella and stuff. And I'd rather drink it over them. So if it's on offer, I'll buy it. To be honest with you, sometimes they sell it 10 cans for £8 around me local Tesco Express. For that price, I'll buy it. I'd rather be drinking it than this one I'm drinking there. But this was 12 bottles for a tenner. San Miguel. And this is a bit rough to get them first few down. You remember trying Lek ages ago because the local shop used to do good deals on it. Probably out of date, lol. But when we was underage at the time, dodgy corner shop shouldn't have been serving. It's good old days. Yeah, I actually don't think that's too bad, Lek. That's a Polish beer, isn't it? 5%, I think. Quite an easy drinking lager, that. Not the most flavoursome, but decent. From memory, anyway. Not had that for a while. Jagman, yeah, that's it, mate. I'm going to have a few beers at the weekend. Being off it for 4 weeks. Oh, fair enough, mate. You're going to enjoy them beers, aren't you? They're going to go down lovely, mate. Any ideas what your first beer back is going to be after 4 weeks? Have you been doing the old dry January thing? Is that why you've had the time off the drinking, or did you just fancy a break? Freddie Burst will defo give the Lek a go again one day. Forgot about it was like. I'm in between the scene with some boys, a load of shit. When he weren't old enough in the shop. Yeah, I'm in between this. It's quality, isn't it? I love that. It's a shame that people have to get old and they had to stop making it. LED, Jackman D, dry January. Yeah, Paul didn't do too well at the old dry January, did he? Adnam's Ghost Ship is a good beer if you haven't tried it yet. I tried it on tap actually, and I think I quite liked it. It's quite hoppy in it. I think it was about a year ago. I think I tried it on tap, but I've not actually reviewed it. It's just one that I keep thinking I've reviewed. because I think I picked it up. I think it's one of them ones that I picked up to review and ended up drinking it, and it stays in my mind thinking that I've reviewed it, but I actually haven't. Dude, you're making me fancy watching Inbetweeners again, actually. I've not seen it for a couple of years. It's one of them sort of series you can go back to, and you give it a couple of years and you just miss it and you fancy watching it again. Oh. Yeah, I actually thought Paul was going to do a bit better. I thought he was going to surprise a few people and go a couple of weeks. He done better than me, though. I didn't do nothing. Forgot about Alec. A dodgy corner shop man would try and sell them to me when your mates. He got a prop. We probably couldn't sell it, and we weren't old enough to buy it. I'm going to do about another 5 minutes or so, guys, and then I'm going to get off and play a little bit of FIFA. Have probably another finish the rest of this case of San Miguel, and then get some shut eye because I need to try and get some sleep. But one thing that's been fucking me up is, you probably know I've got the old sleep apnea, so I have to wear the mask because I keep coughing so much. I can't wear my mask, which means I lay in bed, but I don't sleep because I keep waking up 30 times an hour with a sleep apnea. So I'm not getting any proper rest, which is doing me in. Inbetweeners is class because it's funny and it reminds you of your old school days. Yeah, it does. It just reminds you of shit you used to get up to when you was at school. You're right there, mate. Everyone had a mate like Jay. Total bullshit here. Jay's quality, isn't he? Complete bullshit here. He plays that part so well, doesn't he? So well that it's a bit like Del Boy from Only Fools and Horses. When you look at him, you don't see him as an actor. You just see him as Jay. The same as you look at Del Boy and you just see him as Del Boy, even though he's gone on and done other stuff, Darling Buds and May, and he's done a lot of other stuff. Touch of Frost, this, that, and the other. He's always just going to be Del Boy, isn't he? He owned the role that well. Yeah, it's good when actors do that, and it's almost weird seeing them go on to do other stuff. It does make you appreciate how good they are at acting when they do their role so well. I'll go after this one. But fair enough. I'm actually surprised that people are watching on is it Wednesday night? Quite surprised. Not bad for a second stream. We had about 15 people on or something at one stage. SM Day 2005. I better get some shut eye too. Well, at least you got a day off work tomorrow. Nice one, mate. Great talking to you, Adam. Great talking to you too, mate. Honestly, I really appreciate you guys popping in. Much appreciated. Same with Nicholas Lyndhurst as Rodney. Yeah, he does such a good job of Rodney. I mean, he's harder now. He's looking old, like an old man, isn't he? So what are you drinking at anyway? God, shamefully, I'm drinking little bottles of San Miguel because it's all they had in my. Sorry, it's not all they had, but it's all they had on offer in my local shop, which is a Tesco Express. This is like 2-minute walk around the corner, and yeah, it was that Foster's or a few other shitters. I just went for this because it's stronger. The first few went down quite rough. I've got to be honest. It's that bitterness on the end, really astringent, nasty bitterness. But once you got a few down, you're right. It's a bit like, hair of the dog, couple down you, and then you're good to go. Finish your Holstons now. About to go roll with Jay. Off in a minute. Hopefully that storm can bring a few fences down and bring a bit of work in. So that's one way of looking at it, isn't it? I'll take it you're a fencer then, mate. Yeah. Gotta go and look out for a Pilsner Quell soon. Defo. Yeah, they sell Pilsner Quell in Asda in small 6-packs of 330ml cans, but they do 2 for a tenner. So you can get 12 330ml cans for a tenner. And they're very nice out of the can. Or Morrison's do 500ml bottles for about £2 each, and they're in the 4 for 3 deal. Either way, you can't go wrong with Pilsner Quell. If you do try it, mate, let me know what you think of it. Whether it being alive or just comment on one of my videos or whatever. I'd love to know what you think of it, mate. Because, like I say, it's quite a bitter one. It's probably not for everyone, but I love it. We don't get much choice. Yeah, that's it, mate. It always annoys me when I have to go to my Tesco Express because the selection is dire, and like 10-minute journey in the car, I can go to Aldi, spend half the money, and get a beer that I enjoy twice as much by the German purity law in the Rheinbacher or the Steinhauser. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do, ain't you? I can't drive because of my sleep apnea, and the kids are in bed and that, so the missus couldn't take me to Aldi. So I do have to drink a lot more shit beer than I would like to, but it is what it is. Sometimes it's shit beer or nothing, isn't it? Majestic Wines sell Pilsner Quell too. Oh, do they? Do they do any good deals on that? Ew, posh tart, LED. You posh tart. Majestic Wines. It does sound rather posh, doesn't it? Get to Majestic Wines. LED, do you drink your beer like that with a little finger up? I'll do that. I don't mean to. I think you can tell I'm not posh, but sometimes, not so much I have a little glass like this, but if I'm drinking out of a pint glass, the little finger tends to go up. Does anyone else do that? Is that just a me thing, or it's weird? It's like an involuntary movement. It's like they do a Paulaner Weiss beer on a great deal. Yeah, Paulaner Weiss beer is absolutely top notch for me. That is right up there with the best Weiss beers that I've tried, I think. Very, very nice beer. And that Weiss beer is a style that, if you've not tried them, guys, I really suggest you give one a bash. Try like a Franziskaner or Paulaner. Probably good ones to see whether you like the style. Fucking hell, I need a shave. And I'm getting bloody old. It's getting grey. Sometimes, like, I can see myself on the camera, obviously, and start realising how fucking old I'm getting. Don't really look in the mirror much. You know what I mean? I ain't got much hair to really brush. Jagman, got a few cans of Deus Steady Rolling Man in the beer fridge. They keep looking at me, though, through the glass door. Get him down, yeah. Freddie Verse. Know you like German beers. What's a good one you can get quite easily over here, mate? You recommend? I would say, if you're looking for a cheap one, go to Aldi and you can get the Rheinbacher Pilsner or the Rheinbacher Weiss beer or the Steinhauser Lager, which comes in the green stumpy bottles. And they're all very good and they're all brewed by the German purity law. But if you've got a bit more money, Franziskaner, if you like Weiss beers, like wheat beers, is a good option. And it's readily available in most supermarkets for about £2 a pop. If you go to Sainsbury's, you can get your Paulaner Weiss beer, which is very nice, for roughly the same price, maybe a touch more. You can also get Weihenstephaner from Sainsbury's, which again is a Weiss beer. Depends what you like. You'd have to say, like, are you talking lagers or are you talking ice beers or whatnot? I didn't realise how ginger I am. Maybe it's the light. My beard is proper ginger. Do shopping now most of the time. Big Vice beer. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Vice beer fanboy as well, and that's a relatively new thing for me since I started my channel, really, because I've not actually tried one until I started my channel up, and I think they're just fantastic. They got such a nice body on them. I love the banana and clove mix. You get just really enjoyable style of beer. In fact, I had a meet up in the summer with my brother, and he was like, "Oh yeah, obviously you see I've got a YouTube channel about beer and stuff like that." And he's like a lager drinker like I used to be. Try and get me into tasting a few different beers, thing, stuff that sort of won't be too scary to sort of try for someone who's a lager drinker. And one of the beers I brought up was Franziskaner Weiss beer, and it's now his favourite beer, and he can't get enough of it. And he was like, "I cannot believe I'd never tried this beer." And he said he loved me for introducing him to that Franziskaner Weiss beer, but he also hates it because he goes to like his local pub and he has to drink lagers and stuff. And he's like, I feel like I can't. And he watches my videos slagging off all the UK beer industry and stuff. And he's like, "You're really making me not enjoy beers I used to I used to like, bro." But he's like, "You're right though." Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You got to spread the word. So I'm off to blaze one and whack on him. I thought he was going to say whack one off. A whack on the in-betweeners or only falls. Peace out. If you do a Brown Ale review this month, whack it against Newcastle. Cheers, Adam, for the beer advice, Mush. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate you joining, and enjoy. Yeah, in betweeners or only fools and horses, whatever you decide to watch, mate. Can't go wrong either way, really, can you? For them two. Indeed, not sure if anyone is getting mad wins where you guys are, but fuck me, it's pissing me off. I'll have to repair my shed again after Sunday. Yeah, it's been crazy. Everybody's fences and that have been blown all over the gaff around here, mate. There's like just up the road from me, they're building a new block of flats. And they got a massive crane up, obviously to build the flats with. And it's got like one of the massive hooks on the end and like a big bit of metal. And it's blowing all over the gaff and absolutely slamming into the side of the crane. And I can hear it from here. Even though it's a few minute walk up the road, it's like bang, bang, just being walloped into the crane. Hopefully it don't fall, or that's going to cause some bloody damage. Tell you that. Why, aye, man. All of a sudden, I was getting used to this San Miguel. It wasn't tasting too bad. And now it's starting to taste really shit again. Funny that. I think this San Miguel was a beer that I did a video a few months back where I froze a San Miguel. I had one in the fridge, and I had one that I froze in the freezer, obviously, overnight. Then I defrosted it, when I'd done a beer battle, a frozen San Miguel or one that had been frozen and defrosted against just one that's been in the fridge. And the frozen one, it actually took the horrible bitterness off the beer. It was really interesting. I thought it was just going to taste the same, but perhaps lose a bit of the carbonation because it had been fully frozen. So I thought that would make it lose the carbonation. And I've kind of done it as an experiment to see whether you can still drink a beer that's been frozen. And yeah, you could. And it actually made the San Miguel taste better, which is really interesting. It's a shame old Rob's not in, the old brewer, anymore, because it would have been nice to ask him actually why that was, because it definitely tasted better once it'd been frozen. Make it make sense, people. You've noticed YouTube like censoring words in the live chat. They don't like you saying sweary words or dissing media. Oh, really? Oh, fuck. Jenny don't give a fuck, does she? It's starting to warm up. The real taste of it's coming out. Yeah, that's probably what it is, mate. Yeah, there's a lot of censorship in that going on in YouTube lately. I've seen some other channels that I watch getting in trouble for just saying their opinions on things like COVID and the wars that are going on and stuff like that. And not you can't disagree with certain things, otherwise your channel gets fucking banned and stuff like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know what happened to free speech? Anything sub 3 degrees, you lose all the taste. That's why I did Foster's. Yeah, I mean, the San Miguel, I wasn't stupid. I put it straight in the freezer. These ones I'm drinking now, they've come out of the freezer. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it'd been frozen, right? This San Miguel from that particular video. And then obviously I put it in the fridge to defrost with the one that had been in the fridge the whole time. But when I actually drunk them, they were both the same fridge temperature, which was probably 3 to 4 degrees. So they were the same temperature, but just one had been through the cycle of being frozen. And I think that cycle of freezing the beer perhaps gave it an extra filtration of the water or something. I don't know what happened, but the carbonation wasn't affected. The beer just tasted smoother and better quality. Crazy. I was expecting there to be a big difference between the two. I was even wondering whether it was still possible to drink a beer that had been fully frozen, and I was also worried that it might explode in the freezer because that can happen as well, can't it? When you freeze carbonated beverage in the freezer, there's art to drinking. Yeah. Yeah, I wrote 2 different comments earlier, but obviously it never came up. As you end up reading every comment, Slide gets vodka interacting with his frozen such a. I'm wondering if there's a way that, like, perhaps moderation activity will be shown. I don't know what I just did. Moderation activity off. Timestamps. Don't even know what that means. There's all sorts of pop out chat. What's pop out chat? Pin chat. You can now pin a message to the top of the chat. For viewers to read, click any message and pin it. Got it. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm learning here. What did that do? Pinned. Oh yeah, Ali D. I didn't know how to do it, but I've made you a moderator, I think. I don't know. I'm just sort of having a little mess about with the settings before I go. See if I can figure out any new stuff. Share screen. Edit. I don't know, like like some channels that do the lives, when somebody says a comment, they can put it up on the screen so that it kind of highlights it for everyone. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So when I'm reading it out, I can sort of pop it on the screen and get it up there for everyone. But I don't know how to do that. Cos did Sub-Zero is like slushy beer. Vodka's like jelly when it's frozen. Really, I've not seen that. I've not seen frozen vodka before. Yeah, it causes shit, innit? I'm a tool, a spanner to be exact. Not for the first time. Click next to the comment. Put user in timeout. No, don't want to do that. Remove, report, replace pinned message. So has that done something? I've just replaced the pinned message. Does that put it up on the screen for you guys, or I don't know? Maybe on StreamYard. Yeah, I'll probably have a chat with Simo. He's quite clued up and all that sort of thing, isn't he? I'm not sure. But also, like when you're watching the live back on replay, like I can see you guys' comments on the side of my screen. I want other people to be able to see the comments on the replay. Perhaps that's another StreamYard thing. I don't know. But I've noticed when I watched it on the replay, comments don't appear. So that's another reason why I'm reading them out, so that people know what I'm sort of talking about when they watch the replay. So Jagman's comment is highlighted in the live box. See, I can't see his comment. I can't see his comment on the screen. It's not on the screen though, is it? It's just in the chat. Is that right? Perhaps it shows up differently for you guys. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm going to smash this last bit. I'm going to thank you all very much for joining and for watching my channel. I really appreciate every single one of you that tunes into the Beer Monster reviews and chats to me in the comments and stuff and just supports the channel. Really do appreciate it, guys. You guys are why I do it. I really enjoy it because of you lot. Jennifer Cross vodka alcohol won't freeze till it's very cold. -20 or lower. Son of Russian drinking shots. That sounds really interesting. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go and chill for a bit. And maybe I'll start doing these once a week or something. I don't know. What would be a good day to do it? I could do it on the weekends, perhaps, but then there's probably other people streaming on the weekends. I don't know. Or perhaps I'll join other people's streams one week and then perhaps the next week do my own one. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it's been great talking to you all, guys. As I say, I really, really appreciate all the love you guys bring. And it's just really great just chatting to you all in these lives. And it's been really fun. I've enjoyed it. And Friday night pub with a beer monster. Monstering, maybe, yeah. Maybe a Friday night. That could be a good day for it. Friday night, perhaps. I have to see. Perhaps starting from next Friday because as I say, I've not been too well. Anyway, guys, to the next one. Bye bye, darlings.